The following sports broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Eads Broadcasting and the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Welcome to the Oregon School Activities Association U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tire State 5A Boys Football Playoffs. Today's game featuring the West Albany Bulldogs is brought to you locally by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, J&J Electric, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Lynn Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Now, get ready for Bulldogs football. For all the action, here are Radio Ryan, Wally Ordeman, and a cast of thousands. Live on the unforgettable 920 KSHO.
And welcome back to West Albany High School after the bye. Nice to be back indoors here. Some 70 days since the regular season began at Pendleton, what seems like a lifetime ago in terms of distance, certainly tonight in terms of weather, and obviously in terms of importance. The regular season in the rearview mirror, the postseason on the road in front. It is round one of the 2012 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championship with West Albany playing host to Ashland here tonight on KSHO. I welcome you back to the broadcast. Ryan Pitts alongside Wally Ordeman and Jeff Kiter on a rainy, cold night here in Albany. Wally, I begin this broadcast the way we've talked about so many times with the word timing. When we took over these broadcasts in 2005, West Albany had not made the playoffs in several seasons. They've made the postseason in every year since we've started carrying these games. I guarantee you it's coincidental, but our timing could not have been better. West Albany has begun the postseason many years as a favorite, some years as an afterthought. This year you have to think there's somewhere in between. It's a loaded field in the 5A state tournament. There are about 6 or 7 teams that probably have a legitimate shot at saying they could win the 5A state championship. We started tonight with West Albany against Ashland, and the Bulldogs' playoff quest begins.
I think you're absolutely right. This West Albany team, it's kind of tough to figure right now. The West Albany with not winning the league title, it's kind of an uncomfortable, kind of an awkward spot for West Albany fans to be in. So used to being there near the top or at the top, and so expectations. They come in as the number 6 ranked team in the power rankings for OSAA. They get this home game, they earned that, but then a victory tonight puts them on the road and could be in fairly hostile territory. We'll talk about that as the evening goes along. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But this West Albany team, I think coming off the bye week, I think will be healthy. I think this team, with the weather we're seeing right now, which is just absolutely miserable right now on the field, with the rain just pouring down, I think benefits West Albany. West, a running team primarily, and Ashland has almost 2-to-1 passing to rushing. So West Albany, I think certainly the weather benefits the Bulldogs tonight. It's the start of what we hope is 4 straight weeks of victories.
4 wins would claim a 5A state football championship. West Albany trying to get back to the mountaintop. The 2007 and 2008 state champions. West Albany this year 8-1, 6-1 in the Mid-Willamette Conference. Ashland 7-3, 5-2 in the Midwestern League. They played in the play-in round last Friday night. Each of these teams, ironically, their last game against Corvallis. West finished the regular season against Corvallis back on October the 26th, beat them 59-32. Last Friday, Ashland played Corvallis in the play-in round and annihilated the Spartans, 47-7. It's the 5th consecutive win for Ashland. They've really been rolling up the points, at least 47 points in 4 of those 5 victories. It's clearly a team that can score. It's clearly a team that can throw the ball. And if there's one area where West Albany has maybe struggled this year, it's defending the pass. Now that, just on paper, seems a little scary.
Well, there are several things as we look at this game. There are several things that can be scary for West Albany. One is you haven't hit somebody with a jersey a different color in a couple of weeks, and certainly they're anxious to get out there and do that. But this Ashland team, let's think about this. They have not lost since the last week of September. This team is on a roll. They've switched quarterbacks. They've gotten a little bit more diverse in what they do offensively. They're scoring 32 points a game and only allowing 18 points. They're 5-0 at home. They're only 2-3 on the road. But this team, They rush for 375 yards, or they have 375 yards of total offense per game. This is a team. This isn't going to be like the 75-0 game we had a few years ago between these two teams. This is an Ashland team that's coming in confident. They've come in with a lot of wins under their belt, and this is going to be a team ready to play.
More on that 75-0 game here as the pregame continues. But just one point about that 5-game winning streak for Ashland. Not to try and degrade that in any way, but the 5 teams that they beat in that 5-game streak, a combined record this year of 12-35. And the greatest win in that stretch, probably against Eagle Point, a 27-14 win on October the 26th. Eagle Point was thrashed last Friday night by Crescent Valley in the play-in round, 35-12. So the magnitude of those victories is still a little bit in question, but clearly it's an Ashland team that can move the ball. We'll see tonight if the rain has any impact on their passing game. You certainly figure that it would. If the poor weather is influencing the game at all, you figure it would help the team that can run the ball, and certainly West can do that with Jake Lacoste.
No question about it. And Jake, what a season he has had. Over 30 touchdowns on the season. He's racking up the yardage. It's just been a huge season for Jake. That offensive line's been blowing holes open for him. It doesn't matter who's in at fullback, Hiram Crook or Soot or whoever is leading the way for him. They're getting their pads on somebody and clearing out some big holes. Lahoda's been so solid all season. He's completing passes. West Albany known as a running team, but he's got, I don't know, what is it, like 17 passing touchdowns on the season? It's just incredible to think that everybody looks at West as this running team, and certainly you can with Jake Lacoste in the backfield, but Lahoda has been solid in the backfield, in the offensive backfield, and has led this team very well.
I've seen the quote a few times throughout the season from Coach Nyquist when people, I think, ask him about the importance of the run. He says, everybody knows that we're going to run the ball, but we can do some other things too, and certainly one of those other things is putting the ball in the air. Cody Lahoda, the junior quarterback, having a fine season. He'll hope to keep it going tonight. It is round 1 of the OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championship. Kickoff is about 15 minutes away. We'll take a timeout and continue along here at KSHO.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
Lynn Benton Tractor, we're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We are proud to support our local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. Willamette Community Bank, service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, Ryan Pitts with Wally Ordeman and Jeff Kiter. A reminder, before, during, or after the game in Albany, you can grab a hot and ready $5 pizza at Little Caesars. It's across from the mall on Geary Street, the new and only Little Caesars in Albany. Ashland actually has a pretty extensive history against the Mid-Willamette Conference. Since 2007, they have played Mid-Willamette Conference teams 8 times. They have won 7 of those, a couple in the playoffs where they beat Silverton last year, actually, in round 1. In play-in round 2 in 2010, they beat South Albany. But that one loss in the 8 matchups, Wally alluded to it a couple of moments ago. Back in 2009, it was round 1 of the playoffs, the round of 16. The 2 teams played here at West Albany High School. And West Albany won that game 75-0. At the time, it was the most lopsided shutout win in the history of Oregon high schools football. It was actually surpassed the following year when Jesuit beat North Salem 76-0. They got it by a point. But a 75-0 win for West. Anthony Lacoste that night ran for 197 yards and 5 touchdowns. Did so in about 13 minutes of action. And the one play that I think summed up that game, and it's a play that I have etched in my mind from that game, the opening kickoff of the second half. Do you remember this?
I don't.
West Albany kicked off. Ashland got the ball to start the second half, and Riley Jarrett came down. And, you talk about takeaways in football, you talk about fumbles. He literally grabbed the ball from the return man and just took it from him. It was a takeaway in the truest sense of the word. Took it from him, ran it in for a touchdown. Just like that, it was 68-0. and it was 75-0 as a final. West Albany did everything they wanted to do. They outgained Ashland 376-56. Why do we relive that? Well, it was an impressive night. It was one of the most amazing nights I think anybody has ever seen. We're not going to see that tonight, no question. West is not going to repeat that. But that was one of those nights where just everything clicked for the Bulldogs.
Boy, it sure was. And, those kind of memories, it's just, that those games, they're fun at the start, and then they aren't fun anymore. Certainly you felt sorry for Ashland. They ran into a buzzsaw last night. But this Ashland team, they've got some weapons. I mentioned earlier that they have a quarterback. They did a little quarterback switch, and was looking for the name I've Daniel White was quarterbacking Ashland early in the season, and then he it looks like maybe Connor Kagi, 6'4", 165-pound senior, started taking most of the snaps over the last few games, and from what I understand, now I don't know this for fact, but I did hear this today, Ashland's starting running back was tossed from last week's game against Corvallis, which I think means he's ineligible tonight. You have facts.
Well, you lead me to this. Now, John Voles is the one that you're talking about. He's the leading rusher for Ashland, a little bit over 500 yards on the season. He was clipped with a personal foul for a late hit in the win last week against Corvallis. He was suspended for tonight's game, but Ashland appealed the suspension to the OSAA, and the OSAA overturned it. So John Voles will be in action tonight for Ashland. That is a key because Voles, a senior, he's their senior leader, as I said, the top runner, but also a key defensive player for Ashland. He will be in uniform tonight.
Several interceptions on the season. He's not just an offensive weapon. He defensively will get after you, too, and certainly that will be a help to Ashland to have him in the lineup. But they've got all sorts of weapons. He's got 3 or 4 different targets, 3 different players that have had over 100 yards receiving in a game. They will try and do it on the ground, but they will try and go to the air much more than rush in this game, certainly, and weather permitting. And this Ashland team, they're going to be confident tonight, and with all these weapons and the confidence they have coming in, they haven't lost, like I said, since September. This is going to be a team to be reckoned with.
And these two conferences that are represented here tonight, the Mid-Willamette Conference and the Midwestern League, make up half of the remaining field in 5A. The Midwestern League sends 4 teams to the round of 16. The Mid-Willamette Conference sends 4 teams to the round of 16. So certainly they both come from strong leagues. The only losses this year for Ashland came to start the year at Klamath Union, and then 2 tremendous teams from the Eugene-Springfield area lost to Marist 47-0 on September the 14th, lost to Springfield 42-20 on September the 28th. And since then, as their coach, Charlie Hall, alluded to in a quote I saw this week, he said, we beat the teams that we should have beaten. They were favored, I think, in every of the 5 games to end the year. They did win all of those games. When you talk about the 2-quarterback system for Ashland, you mentioned Daniel White, who began the year as the starter. He apparently is the faster of the 2 and will come into tonight's game. They use a little bit of a 2-quarterback system. Daniel White will come in for a change of pace, and a guy who really can run the ball well from the quarterback spot. Connor Kagi is the better deep passer, and he will be the starting quarterback. We're going to have our anthem. We'll take a timeout. Return. Playoff football on KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall pickup. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV, no job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
920 KSHO.
Final notes of the national anthem, fitting to begin Veterans Day weekend here in the state of Oregon. And football playoffs tonight. Ashland here in West Albany getting set to take on the Bulldogs, still a couple minutes away from kickoff. Talking a little bit more about the Ashland offense, talk about the two-quarterback system. But their leading receiver this year also poses a threat, Wally. R.J. Atterbury is his name. 43 catches, 740 yards, and 10 touchdowns. But he is listed on the roster as a quarterback, and he threw a touchdown in the win over Eagle Point, the 27-14 win on October 26th. He threw a touchdown in that game. Provides just another thing that you have to watch out for in this spread offense.
Yeah, I think with so many weapons and so many different ways that Ashland can set up, they will spread you out. They will do a lot of things. I don't think we'll see anything generic. It's do or die in the playoffs, and I think they'll probably pull out all the stops. Especially the way, I don't want to keep bringing the weather into this, but the way the weather is, scoring opportunities are going to be few and far between, I think, in this game. It's just, you just have to figure it's going to be maybe a little bit lower scoring affair than what we're used to seeing, than what these teams are used to having. They're going to look at every opportunity and probably throw the playbook out the window and just say, okay, or expand the playbook, right, maybe is what I'm trying to say. The other thing, I want to go back to a point you made earlier, talk about the wins that they've had and winning the games they were supposed to win over the course of the season. They have one really good win this season, and that's against Churchill. Right. They have one really bad loss, and that was the opening loss to Klamath Union, who's number 10 in the power rankings at 4A. Right. That was a tough one for them. But certainly, when you think about Churchill, who was a top 10 team the first half of the season, and at that time when Ashland beat them, was the highest scoring 5A football team in the state, and held them to 13 points. So certainly this Ashland team, they've got weapons, and this could be a good one.
And Churchill also one of the final 16 teams in the 5A tournament. They play Redmond. The one half of the bracket in which West Albany resides also has Putnam and Silverton. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Putnam-Silverton game. Roosevelt, Springfield, Lebanon, and Sherwood on the bottom half of the bracket. Lebanon tonight is up at Sherwood, and we wish the KGAL crew well on what no doubt a monumental task for the Warriors as they go up and play Sherwood. But Lebanon went over to Bend last Friday and won convincingly at Bend. No easy place to play in the postseason. Wally, we got Mid-Willamette Conference all-conference teams, at least the first and the second team. We don't have honorable mention for West Albany. Apologize for that. But the all-conference teams announced. No real surprise. Jake Lacoste, Offensive Player of the Year in the Mid-Willamette Conference. But not as much for West Albany on the first team as we've seen in years past. And so much of that is just based on who wins the league. And the number one team in the league very often has the most selections on the all-conference team. And that, I think, is the case. By default, some of those first-team selections went to Silverton. Deserved or not, that's up for debate. But here are the first-team selections for West Albany. On the defensive line, Matt Soot and Tanner Gardner. At linebacker, Gabe Stone. And then on the offensive line, Colton Brandt. At running back, of course, Jake Lacoste. And the kick returner, a guy who we saw with a couple of dazzling kick returns late in the year, J.T. Valenzuela. Now on the second team, defensive backs J.T. Valenzuela and Joey Roos. On the offensive line, Buck Truelove and Alex Boyd. The tight end, Jackson Soto. The receiver, Brendan Breslin. The quarterback, Cody Lahota. The punter, Brendan Breslin. And the kicker, Matt Weiss. So West very well represented on the second team. Some of the big names you'd expect on the first team. It's always fun to kind of sit back and debate who makes these teams. But you have a pretty solid argument for a few more from West being on team number one.
Yeah, I think you sure could. And you know, the argument that would be made by the coaches that picked the first and second teams would be, how did these players help their teams succeed? And certainly Silverton with the conference championship, you can make an argument for if anybody's on the fence of putting them on the first team. We certainly could argue for a lot of West Albany players being up there, but can't argue too much. Congratulations to all those players making first and second team.
Defensive Player of the Year, for those interested, was Chris Garcia of Silverton. Coach of the Year, John Mannion of Silverton. And the Assistant Coach of the Year was Mike Fessler, former Beaver punter, also from Silverton.
Ryan, before we get to kickoff here, I want to just mention real quickly the Bulldog girls volleyball team is in the state semifinal as we speak, and I'm getting scores here reported to me. They are playing Marshfield in the semifinal. They won the first game and are up 10-2 in the second game. I will give reports as we go along as the Bulldog girls trying to get into that state championship game tomorrow.
Certainly be keeping an eye on that. Wishing the Bulldog girls the best as we are set for kickoff tonight. Matt Wiest will kick it away with the rain falling here in Albany on this Friday night. Wiest with the approach, the boot, and we are underway as this one sent down to Ryan Roberts. We'll take it about the 3-yard line to the 10, up the middle at the 15, crosses the 20, and he'll be dragged down near the 24-yard line by Nathan Clark. They will mark it at the 25, where the Ashland Grizzlies will start 1st and 10, just underway here tonight from West.
Good deep kick by Wiest. Buried him back quite a ways, starting position at the 25. Decent run back by Ashland. 75 yards to go here for them.
As Connor Kagi goes out of sort of a modified pistol formation, one back behind him, one to his left, and they'll give it straight ahead to Bulls, and he'll be stuffed right at the line. Not much there off left side. That was Austin Chandler with the carry. Chandler, who is listed as a running back, but the bigger of the two backs, 5'9", 175. John Bulls at 165 pounds. He's the tailback. Now to the left of Kagi on 2nd down and 10. No gain on 1st down. Kagi with back split, back to throw. Sets up, throws near side. The pass tipped and then knocked away on the near side by Ben Engel. Tipped at the line, intended for Quade Walters.
Boy, Walters just kind of stood there and waited for it. If West Albany isn't giving him quite that much cushion, they probably go ahead and take that in the air and take it to the house. That was tipped at the line. You talked about the spread offense of Ashland. Not only what comes with the spread is they do spread you out, but also the no huddle.
Yeah.
Which means I won't have much to say here in the first half.
Listeners, rejoice. Connor Kagi will go out of the shotgun. Taking a lot of time here on 3rd down and 9. Ashland from their own 26-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for Kagi. Takes a snap, straight drop, back to throw. Pressure comes, throws over the middle, and it's dropped right through the hands of his intended target, R.J. Atterbury. Heavy pressure coming from Brian Garcia. A 3-and-out for Ashland, and West will get it on the punt here. 11:20 to go in the first.
Oh, man, and did Garcia get the quarterback? Kagi got folded in half on that play. Garcia in there quickly. Good clean hit to the midsection, but just doubled him over.
West is going to need to bring pressure tonight with the Ashland pass game. J.T. Valenzuela deep to receive the punt. Atterbury sent to punt it away. Snap very high. Atterbury up to get it. Not much of a rush. Get away a short, wobbly kick. It's going to hit on the West Albany side of the field and bounce backwards. I should say the Ashland side is going to roll dead at the 37-yard line. An 11-yard punt, and the Bulldogs with a gift to start. Less than a minute gone by, the Bulldog defense forces a 3-and-out, and the offense will have it with tremendous field position. 1st and 10 at the Ashland 37.
Great start for the Bulldogs. It's best case scenario. You get the 3-and-out, then you get the ball in the short punt. You get the ball on the Ashland side of the field. That flag, I was going to say, he's kicking into the wind. That flag hanging limp. I can't tell if there's no wind or if it's just soaked.
Yeah, maybe a little waterlogged. There's been a lot of rain here. As Jake LaCosta, 1st down carry, and he's hit at the line and thrown backwards. There will be a big emphasis, certainly, for Ashland on stopping the run. They'll give Jake forward progress for a yard. 2nd down 9 from the Grizzlies' 36.
Well, Jake does like that cutback. That was designed to go right, but likes to cut it back left. That time, that was sniffed out very nicely by Ashland. Tackle almost for loss. They're saying basically no gain.
Better than 10 yards a carry for Jake on the season. Not much there on 1st down. Gets another carry and finds a seam at the 30. Dragged to the 25. A 1st down on this carry. 12 yards for Jake after no gain on 1st down. This is a 1st down for the Bulldogs at the Grizzly 25.
Good blocking up front, that left side of the line. This Bulldog team, ball security is going to be so important in this game. It's going to be sloppy down there. The rain continues to fall a little bit. Not as hard as it was during the pregame, but ball security is certainly going to be so important in this one.
It was decent all the way up here on the drive, and then as soon as we got into the booth, it really opened up. As Cody LaHoda, junior quarterback, goes under center, left hash mark, backs in the eye. Brendan Breslin creeps in motion, and now we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. Randy Nyquist will make his way quickly out onto the field. Did not like the way the Bulldogs were setting up. An early timeout taken by West Albany. U.S. Bank has been proud to sponsor the OSAA State Championship since 1984. Whether you are buying a car, consolidating bills, or paying for one of life's unexpected surprises, U.S. Bank has great rates on loans and lines of credit tailored to meet your needs. Stop in and see what U.S. Bank has to offer. U.S. Bank, all of us serving you. See banker for details, subject to normal credit approval. Installment loans and lines of credit offered by U.S. Bank National Association ND, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. They have added a lot of things.
They have. That's a longer card read than I remember that being.
A lot of terms and conditions. They're out of the timeout. That burned a lot of time. It's Cody LaHoda will settle under center. Hiram Crook is his fullback. Jake Lacoste behind him, again in the eye. Ben Engel split to the left. Breslin tight to the formation on the right, and Jackson Soto tight end left. Now Soto will go in motion left to right on 1st and 10 from the Grizzlies' 25. Lahota with a stretch play, right to Jake. Looking for a little crease and not much there. A yard, maybe 2. Off right tackle for Lacoste.
Just kind of trying to feel out Ashland, the Grizzlies, and see what they're going to do defensively here. Nice play, get everybody screaming to the right there. Nice wall of blocking. Pretty nicely defended by Ashland. Gain of about 2. Going to bring up, well, they're going to call it 2nd and 7.
Ball just inside the Ashland 23. 9:43 to go in the first quarter. No score. And Bulldogs looking to change that from the right hash mark. Soto again in motion, left to right. Ashland stacking the line. Lahota back to throw. Sets up, fires end zone. Looking for Valenzuela, and it's overthrown. Incomplete. Out the side of the end zone is J.T. Valenzuela lined up as a receiver to the left. Not something we see all that often.
Well, when you throw that pass on 2nd down, Ryan, it means that you know you're in 2-down territory, because you wouldn't do that, not with Jake Lacoste in the backfield. They were just kind of testing things, seeing what kind of defensive coverages were going to be back there. It was man-to-man coverage on that pass pattern, but just throwing a little bit too far. You get Valenzuela. You trust him in single coverage out there on the outside with the quicks that Valenzuela has? Are you kidding me? He will take most corners and safeties to task.
Valenzuela again matched up one-on-one on the near side to give to Jake, and a flag, which will blow it dead. I don't know if the windows are open above us or if it's just a more vocal coaching staff than we've had, but the Ashland coaches directly above us liking what they've seen so far. West got great field position at the 37, but slogging a little bit here. 3rd down 12 after the 5-yard motion penalty, as they'll set it down just inside the Ashland 28.
Yeah, 3rd and 12. You'd be happy with 6 here. You'd take 6, take more than that certainly. You'd be happy with 6 and then go for it on 4th down. Even if you don't get it, you've still got Ashland deep in their own territory.
3rd down 12. Lahota under center. Again, I formation. They'll give it to Jake Lacoste, accelerating quickly. Jake at the 25. He'll come to the round, the near side, break a tackle at the 20. Puts a shoulder down and nears the 15-yard line. He'll be just short of the 1st down, it would appear. We'll check the spot. Now they're putting it down right at the 15, it appears, which should be enough. Still discussing where to place the ball. If they put it down right at the 15, that should be a 1st down. It is. 1st down, Bulldogs. 12 yards for Jake on 3rd and 12.
Boy, and what a move he had. Looked like maybe he was going to cut that inside, but he did round the corner. That's a risky move with as slick as this field has to be, but he was able to plant, get to the corner. Nice play.
Quick snap, give to Jake, off left guard. Jake in the 10, breaking attack with the 5, up the middle for a touchdown. 15 yards, touchdown, Bulldogs, 6-0 with 9:16 to go in the first.
Well, how about you just go over to the left shoulder of Buck Truelove, the center, and say, okay, here we go. That offensive line blew a huge hole open for Jake Lacoste, goes through a couple of arm tackles and takes it to the house. Beautiful start for the Bulldogs.
Now the defense forced the 3 and out. A short punt, and the Bulldogs take advantage of the short field. Jake Lacoste, another touchdown, his 35th rushing touchdown of the season. And Matt Wiest on for the point after, trying to make it 7-0. Dion Webb is the long snapper. Ben Engel the holder. Snap and hold both good. Matt Wiest kick a line drive. That is good. 9:16 to go. First quarter. West Albany 7. Ashland nothing. It's the OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championship on KSHO.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Figaro's in Albany now has the ultimate super combo and the ultimate super meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust, 541-924-9303.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The Cutting Room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The Cutting Room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Getting the lead at any point of the year, certainly of great significance, magnified in the playoffs. And West Albany scores first here tonight, 7-0 Bulldogs on the 15-yard touchdown run by Jake Lacoste. Now Matt Wiest set to send it away. Quade Walters is deep for Ashland, standing at his own 10-yard line. Wiest with the approach and the kick. High, deep kick, taken by Walters, backpedaling at the 3. Waiting for some blockers, trying to come to the near side, looking to turn the corner. Heavy pursuit coming, and Walters will go out of bounds at the 16. Good pursuit by special teams. Nathan Clark forced him to the sidelines. Ben Engel was there to shut the door, and Ashland backed up 1st and 10.
Boy, I see 19 coming off the field, too, there on special teams. Is that Luke Hawkins? Early in this game, special teams.
That's great coverage. Nathan Clark forcing Quade Walters to the sideline, and Ben Engel was there to pinch him to that sideline. 1st and 10 Ashland at their own 15. 9:08 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Bulldogs. 2 backs for Ashland on first down. Kagi with the give. Straight ahead, and decent yardage out to the 20 on first down for John Voles, the one we talked about in the pregame. Initially suspended for the game. That suspension overturned by the OSAA, feeling that the personal foul penalty was sufficient. He picked up 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. 8:45 and running. Again, this no-huddle look from Ashland. Voles to the right of Kagi, and Chandler to the left. Kagi takes a snap, and again gives to Voles, sheds the initial tackle, falls forward near the first down. Official coming in from the near side, putting it right at the 25. He's going to be a little bit short, inches short, 3rd and 1.
I'm sorry, Ryan, getting updates here from Liberty High School. West Albany girls did win the second game. They're up 2-0 in the 3 out of 5 is how volleyball works.
Right.
For anybody that didn't know that, West Albany in the semi trying to make the final for the state championship tomorrow.
3rd down, less than a yard. Kagi back to throw. Sets up, throws in the flat. It's caught by Chandler. He'll have the first down. Hit hard by Valenzuela, but it will be a first down just across the 27-yard line. What I was going to say, Wally, a moment ago, astounding if you look back, the West Albany girls lost 1 game to a 5A team all season long. 1 game to Lebanon.
Yes, and that's just, it's absolutely remarkable. Lebanon is who they beat in 3 straight this morning in the state quarterfinal, too. So the West Albany girls, we will wish them well. We'll have a final result here, we hope, very shortly.
First down, Ashland from their own 27, left hash mark. Back split again for Kagi, who goes back to throw. Fires left, it's caught, and a very short gain. Good tackle on the far side. As that is Jake Lacoste making the tackle on R.J. Atterbury. Short gain across the 30. Pick up about 5.
Well, 2 straight completions for Ashland, and both have just been punished. That first down pass was caught for a 2-yard gain and the first down, but man, it was there was a lot of contact there. That time Jake Lacoste able to make the sure tackle, open field tackle after the 5-yard gain.
2nd down, 5. Ashland from the 32. Voles will come in motion out of the backfield. Rolling to throw is Kagi. Looking downfield, now wants to step up. Under some pressure and will go down with a flag coming in late. And that certainly is going to be for something on the tackle. If they'll say maybe leading with the helmet, blow to the head, we'll check the flag. Personal foul, blow to the head. So 15 yards, a gift for Ashland. This will give them a first down.
Move very close to midfield to your 2 once they mark this 15 yards off. That's really unfortunate. You know that's not something where somebody's going for the head. That's a matter two players, defensive players converging from different angles and just trying to get that contact, trying to bring him down. As one brings him down, the other probably just isn't able to adjust his tackle to avoid the helmet. Really unfortunate timing.
Moves it all the way out to the 48. 1st and 10 for Ashland. Spread formation, 2 receivers each side. Voles next to Kagi as he works out of the shotgun. The light rain continuing to fall here at West as Kagi back to throws short. It's caught by Atterbury into Bulldog territory. Ripped backwards as he nears the 45. JT Valenzuela with the tackle, but Atterbury with a gain of 7. Ashland moving the ball here on their second possession. West leading 7-0, 6.5 to go in the first quarter.
Well, West Albany they're giving enough of a cushion, but they are closing fast on these tackles. Not a lot of yardage after the catch for Ashland.
Kagi empties the backfield. Bowles and Walters to the right.
Really barks out those calls, doesn't he? Trying to draw offsides.
You see that so much from the spread teams, that quick, hard count, and this time they do draw West into the neutral zone. On the right end, now that's number 78 for West. There is no 78 on their varsity roster. Could that be Joe Birchfield?
It could be Joe Birchfield, worrying about his 18th number of the game.
Jeff saying Matt Soot, 78.
Okay,
that would make sense. I don't see a 90 out there, so I guess Matt Soot is the one wearing a new uniform. Thank you, Jeff. Good deductive reasoning by Jeff Kiter. So a first down on the penalty to the 40 of West Albany. Kagi again from the shotgun, empty backfield. Short drop, throws over the middle. It's caught by Atterbury, breaking a tackle and picking up a first down inside the 30, down close to the 27. Picking their way down the field. The short passing game, short drops from Connor Kagi, not allowing the defense a lot of time to get to him.
You know, Ryan, they're running this no huddle, but it's not like a hurry up. They aren't. It's not like they're trying to get snaps off every 17 seconds here. They are being very deliberate. But what this no huddle does is it doesn't allow the defense to get substitutions in there easily.
Kagi sends 3 receivers to the right. One back with him. It's Bowles. As Kagi on a pump fake, wants to throw deep, has all day. Now under some pressure, rolling to his left. Will fire it towards the end zone, and it is going to be caught for a touchdown. A sliding grab in the end zone by Walters and Ashland, a point after away from tying it up. 5:11 to go in the first. There is a flag down, sitting at the 16-yard line. We'll check the penalty. A great catch in the end zone for a score.
With as much time as they had.
Ineligible man downfield on Ashland, so take the points off the board. And Wally, I think you were going to lead into it. As much time as they had, time for the blocker to get downfield.
Yes, and sure, I'd like to take credit for that. I was going to say as much time as he had, probably a hold, just because, trying to, hold somebody off from getting to the quarterback there. He had all sorts of time in the offensive backfield. Then he ran out of the pocket. He was getting chased and found the receiver in the end zone. Nice sliding catch. But ineligible man downfield and brings it back. Still first down, but first and about 14.
Takes points off the board, at least temporarily. First and 15 from the Bulldog 31. 5:11 to go, first quarter. 7-0 West. Ashland on an impressive march as Kagi will give it to John Bowles. Breaking tackles. Bowles into the secondary inside the 25. Down near the 22-yard line. A gain of about 9. And again, there's a flag down. This one's in the backfield. And this one is in the vicinity of a hold. Well, personal foul, Ashland. Wow.
Personal foul, Ashland.
So 2 huge penalties back-to-back.
I think he might have pointed the wrong direction.
Well, they're backing up. Let's see.
That flag thrown in the vicinity of where a late hit on the quarterback would be. Yeah, the Bulldogs are backing up now. He pointed the wrong direction.
So it'll be personal foul West Albany. Now the question would be, what's the personal foul? Because Kagi had handed it off. You don't see that too often, a late hit on a handoff, but we saw a big foul for Ashland, negating a touchdown, and this is a huge one on West Albany. They'll take this all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Well, and here's the deal, Ryan. When the handoff is made, when there's a fake, and it's a good fake, defensive players don't always know who does have the ball. If they went and tackled him and he didn't have the ball, unless it was a malicious tackle, which I certainly didn't see, I think you got to let that go.
That's an interesting call, and certainly at this level, they don't give any sort of an explanation on what the personal foul is. Just say personal foul. Is Kagi from shotgun, first and 10, just outside the 10. Throws over the middle, and the pass is caught, it would appear, at the 5-yard line to R.J. Atterbury, who dove to the turf. West Albany players were signaling no catch. They do rule it a catch. Down near the 5, second down and 5.
And you've got a quarterback substitution for Ashland.
It's Daniel White, who is in. White's the scrambling threat. He started the first several games of the year, was replaced as the starter by Connor Kagi, but still sees plenty of time as the second quarterback. Austin Chandler offset just in front of him. There's motion as they will give it to White. White will keep it up the middle for a touchdown. An impressive march by Ashland. They had a touchdown taken off on the penalty. They put it in anyway with 4:17 to go in the first quarter. Again, a point after away from a tie.
Yeah, impressive drive by Ashland, aided by several West Albany penalties. And penalties have been kind of the Achilles heel of West Albany in the last few games. We were hoping maybe with the week off they get some things shored up, and we wouldn't see that. But Ashland does a nice job. Not only gets down and gets on the board, but takes a ton of time off the clock. Only 4:17 to go here in the first.
Matt Hedges, the kicker, puts it up and through. And with 4:17 to play, first quarter, brand new ball game. West Albany 7, Ashland 7 in the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A football state championships on KSHO.
Staying on top of your savings can be like staying on top of a mechanical bull or an extreme ski slope. But U.S. Bank makes saving easy with Start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow lets you save slow. Yes. Or fast. Save $1,000, earn a $50 U.S. Bank Rewards Visa card. Keep the balance for a year and get another $50. Awesome. Start today at any U.S. Bank or usbank.com/start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank. Conditions apply. See the Start program agreement or a banker for details. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Unforgettable 9:20.
About 5 minutes off the clock on the Ashland scoring march. 7-7. 4:17 to play in the first quarter, and Ashland will be kicking away. West set to receive with Jake Lacoste and J.T. Valenzuela back at the 10-yard line. Farmers Insurance is the right choice for auto insurance, home, life, business, boat, and RV insurance, and a whole lot more. Your local Farmers experts are Roland Brower and Tim Finley on 9th across from Mark Thomas Motors in Albany. Go Bulldogs.
I see the caped one down here below us, John Birchfield, leading the student section. The West Albany boys water polo team also playing for a state title tomorrow. They play the same Ashland team.
Matt Hedges kicking it off and kicking it out of bounds at the Bulldog 37. It rolls out. Hedges a directional kick, trying to keep it away from the dangerous duo of Lacoste and Valenzuela. And he will set West Albany up with decent field position at the 36, 1st and 10 with 4:17 to go here in the first quarter. Boys and girls water polo.
Yeah, boys
team.
and girls. The boys are playing Ashland, I believe, in the state championship. That's up at Tualatin. The boys and girls the girls also, West Albany girls also in the state championship against Summit tomorrow. All of that up at Tualatin. We wish them both well.
Yeah, I was wishing I could time it right to get to the volleyball match tomorrow, whenever it might be played, heading up to see the Jets for the first time in my life. See the Jets and the Seahawks on Sunday. Be heading that way tomorrow. But timing-wise, not going to work. Just wish the best to all the West Albany teams. Jake Lacoste, a first down carry. Not much up the middle for Jake as he gets out just across the 38. About 2 on first down for Jake Lacoste.
Another purpose play there. Try and soften the middle a little bit. If he gets a big hole, he'll take it, but nice gain there on first down. Going to bring up second and about 8.
Under 4 to go in the first quarter. That was a very impressive and important scoring march for Ashland to get themselves even after the Bulldogs had gotten a defensive stop, gotten a short field, and scored a touchdown. Ashland takes it all the way down, 84 yards on the drive. Give to Jake. Jake with a bit of a crease, first down and more, across the 45, down to the 48 with the flag down, back at the 39. And if this is on West, they are really killing themselves with penalties.
Yeah, it is.
It's a hole.
Yep, it's a hole. You could see that coming in West. The flag thrown right in the middle of where a scrum would be if anybody could tackle on this Ashland team. But West Albany with these penalties are really shooting themselves in the foot right now. Tough to get any momentum at all in a game when you've got this much laundry on the field.
An offsides penalty extended an Ashland drive. West a personal foul that really helped the Grizzlies. Gave them a first down all the way near the 10. Lahota goes under center on second down and 18 now. The ball back at the 29. Lahota, another give to Lacoste, off right tackle. Jake trying to bounce it outside, sheds one tackle, gets across the 35, and gets near the 40 before he's upended. Pickup of about 11 as Lacoste gets a big chunk of it back. It'll bring up third down and 6.
You know, Ryan, we've talked about this all season, but first tackler tried to take him high. Second tackler tried to take him high, slid down to his leg, still couldn't bring him down. Third one goes low and is able to bring him down. Lesson learned. You know, anybody on Ashland watching, tackling technique, you're not going to bring him down if you try and take him high. He's just too strong.
3rd down and 6 upcoming. An important one if you believe in momentum here. Under 3 to go in the first quarter, tied at 7. Cody LaHoda walks it up to the line of scrimmage. JT Valenzuela split right. Jackson Soto to the left. Now Soto comes in motion. Settles to the right of LaHoda, who gives it to Jake Lacoste. Jake up the middle at the first down as he bursts across the 45, out near the 48. And that is the faith that Randy Nyquist has in his offensive line and his gifted running back.
Yep, no question about it. And what a run that was. And nice hole by that offensive line. They blew it open, and he got through just enough for the first down. It's the ball almost to midfield here with the ball at the 48-yard line.
1st and 10 West, 2:20 and running to go in the first quarter. Round of 16 action here in the 5A state playoffs. On a cold and rainy night in Albany. Jackson Soto creeps in motion to the left. He'll give it to the fullback Crook. Crook spinning his way to midfield. A gain of 2. Trying to change it up a little. Soften the middle. Rare carry for the fullback.
I like that little change of pace. You know, give Jake a little bit of a breather and throw something a little bit different wrinkle at Ashland.
On 2nd down and 8. Bulldogs huddling well back inside their own 40. We'll bring it to the line of scrimmage. We have not seen Brendan Breslin split out to the right, as we often do as a receiver. He's tight to the formation on the right side. Again, Soto goes in motion. Ashland stacks the box. On 2nd and 8, a give to Lacoste. Jake up the middle into the scrum. Falling forward to about the 47, near the 46. Short gain again to bring up 3rd down. And we'll call it 5 here for West.
Well, even this might be 2-down territory for the Bulldogs. You know, anything on the other side of on the opponent's side of the field, they're sitting there at the Grizzlies' 47-yard line here. Wouldn't shock me if they didn't get it here. Yard marker showing 2nd down. Now they change it to 3rd.
Again, it's a give to Jake Lacoste with a crease. 1st down. Jake with more. Shedding tackles inside the 35. Dragged down at the 30-yard line. 16 yards for Jake Lacoste. The 2-down discussion is moot. 1st down West at the 30.
Well, and amazing what can happen when you don't have flags on a play. Certainly, you know, West Albany, they're doing it on the ground right now. You made a really good point earlier. We're seeing Breslin real tight to the formation, set up more like a tight end or a wide tackle there. And you could tell that the plan is run, run, run.
Right hash mark on 1st and 10 from the 30. Give to Lacoste up the middle. Jake driving behind a blocker inside the 25, down near the 21-yard line. A quick 9 for Lacoste up the middle, bringing up 2nd down and short, and really opening up the playbook here with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. A 7-7 tie. The Bulldogs now on the march. Ashland, an 84-yard touchdown drive on the previous possession. And West with a 2nd down and 1 at the Ashland 21. 14 seconds and running. Could be the final play of the first if West keeps it on the ground. And they do with the give to Jake Lacoste. Breaking a tackle and picking up a 1st down. Driving inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Jake. The clock stops temporarily with 5 seconds. And I think that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. As Cody LaHoda will start his march to the other end. It will be a 1st down for West Albany when the second quarter begins. After 1 from Memorial Stadium. It's West Albany 7, Ashland 7. Back with the second quarter here in a moment on KSHO.
Hi, I'm Jeff, one of the brake experts here at Les Schwab. When your brakes need work, all you hear is this. But what we hear is this.
Yee-haw! Boy, you pushing me to the limit. Better fix me up today or there'll be no stopping tomorrow. Hey, let's go play chicken with that brick wall. Woo-hoo!
If you couldn't tell, that was a 4x4.
For 30 years, we've been the brake experts at Les Schwab, and it shows. Stop in for your free brake check today. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
The
mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
And welcome back here to West Albany High School, getting set to start the second quarter. West Albany 7 and Ashland 7 here in the round of 16 action in the OSAA's 5A football state championships. Again, trying to face the winner of the Putnam-Silverton game being played tonight up at Silverton High School. Silverton would have to be the overwhelming favorite, but you never quite know in these things. So that's why they play the game, but anticipating that the winner of this game would play Silverton, unbeaten Silverton, as the second quarter underway, and a give to Jake Lacoste for about 3 as he takes it to the 12. Second down and 7. I'm just playing with the radio here. Don't give me those worried looks. I'm trying to change the batteries here while I call the action, so the radio was about to die on us.
You are a true professional. If everybody could watch and see what was happening in the booth while you were fiddling with that, well done.
Second down and 7 from the 12. Give to Jake. Met in the backfield, and he will go down for a loss of a couple. Jake Lacoste, a rare loss. Loss of 2 back to the 14. It'll bring up third down and 9.
Yeah, that was nicely played. Really sniffed out nicely. And you know, a lot of times defensively, Ryan, if you guess right, things are going to go really well. If you guess wrong, it's going to go south on you in a hurry. That time, Ashland guessed right. You kind of sound like John Madden there, didn't it? That was kind of Captain Obvious. But
you know, it's interesting. It's anybody who's ever played the video game Tecmo Bowl, and that's going to go back a ways, if you guessed the play that the opponent guessed, you just nailed him every time. No matter what, you hit him in the backfield. That's what happened there.
That is what happened there.
Third down, almost 10. Give to Lacoste, trying to change direction up the middle. Jake breaks the tackle at the 10, at the 5. He dives close to the 1-yard line, and will have a first down. First and goal for West. Lacoste was hit after just a couple of yards, broke that tackle, takes it inside the 5, first and goal Bulldogs.
They had him wrapped up. They had him absolutely wrapped up there, and they didn't bring him down, and he just ran right through that then. I thought for sure he was stoned right there at that spot, but ran through it, and first and goal for the Bulldogs. The ball at about the 1-yard line.
Just over a minute and a half gone by in the second quarter, tied at 7. The Bulldogs trying to change that with Cody Washburn now in as the fullback behind Lahota. Gives it to Jake Lacoste off left guard. Driving, the ball is loose, and West will dive. They're going to say touchdown. Official on the near side signals touchdown. The ball had popped out. They'll say it broke the plane. Touchdown West. And one of those areas where you're grateful there's no review in high school football.
And grateful probably that the assistant coaches for Ashland can't be heard over our microphones probably right now. But the white hat went immediately over to the side judge and said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yes, he crossed the plane. He crossed the plane." If I can read body language at all, that's what was being said.
Now, West Albany had recovered the fumble. It was bizarre. The ball popped behind the line of scrimmage and just sat there. I don't think anybody realized initially that the ball had come out. Then Alex Boyd alertly dove for it. It is a touchdown for Jake Lacoste, his second of the night, 36th of the year. Matt Wiest on for the point after, which is up and good. 10-12 to go in the second quarter. West Albany back on the board. Alternating scores here early. The Bulldogs 14, the Grizzlies 7 will return in a moment at KSHO.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Unforgettable 920.
Seemed pretty clear from the outset that we would have a ball game. Just looking at the stats for these two teams, it was not going to be a blowout one way or the other, and a good one here so far. 14-7 West Albany with 10-12 to go in the second quarter. At Les Schwab Tires, they guarantee their service like they guarantee their tires. Backed at more than 400 stores throughout the West, Les Schwab Tires doing the right thing since 1952.
Hey, Ryan, the West Albany girls volleyball team just closed out Marshfield. They are headed to the state championship game tomorrow.
Congratulations to them.
And my thanks to Robin Benedict for sending us those scores. We've been trading scores. I've been keeping her updated. She's been texting me. I promised her a Bulldog Broadcast T-shirt for her efforts in doing that. So congratulations to the West Albany girls volleyball team.
Yeah, Matt Weist, his best kickoff of the night, blasting it over the head of Quade Walters and into the end zone for a touchback. Ashland will bring it out to the 20, first down and 10. We'll do a little fall sports recap, and kind of already done the volleyball recap, but we'll talk more about the volleyball team headed to the state championship game. Quite a year that found them nationally ranked by Max Preps. Only one loss that came to 6A Jesuit in the tournament, and only one game, I guess a set, you would say, one set lost on the year to a 5A team. Lebanon beat them in one set. As Connor Kagi back to throw, first and 10 from the 20. Again, all sorts of time. Rolling to his right, looking downfield, firing and underthrowing his intended target out there. It'll be second down and 10. You're laughing at the coaches.
I am. They're going to be hilarious this whole night.
Group.
They are a vocal group and loud. They're directly, for our listeners, they are directly above us. And we've got this ladder that goes up to the second level, and I'm getting all that sound through there. Maybe some of our listeners can hear through the microphone here too. But
I don't know what the difference is between tonight and other games where we haven't been able to hear, but they're noisy here tonight. Second down and 10 at the 20. Give to Voles, and Voles picks his way for about 3.
Ryan,
this bring up third and long.
Yeah, this third and long becomes a really big play for West Albany and momentum in this game. If they can get a stop here, they're going to get the ball back with great field position. A lot of time left here in the second quarter. This would be a huge stop if West can keep them from moving the chains.
Third down and 7 for Ashland from their own 23. Everybody along the offense checking their wristband play call as Kagi empties the backfield. Third and 7, 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Bulldogs flashing blitz. Kagi back to throw. Pressure coming. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Atterbury. It'll be fourth down and 7, and Ashland will have to punt.
And I think what I'm hearing from these coaches, I don't want to dwell on them tonight, but certainly we're hearing a lot more than we typically do. And they're screaming at them to find the open receivers and screaming at them to throw the ball earlier. They feel like the quarterback's hanging on to the ball too long, and I think they're right. The receivers, where they had success in their last series, they were hitting the receivers quickly for smaller gains.
Bulldogs brought good pressure, forced the rush. As Atterbury with the punt, line drive that will hit and roll into Bulldog territory and roll sideways out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. 37-yard punt, no return. West Albany ball, first and 10 from their own 40-yard line. For over 50 years, Mega Foods has been offering the best quality and taste. More than just a supermarket, also a good neighbor. Mega Foods in Lebanon and Albany.
Ryan, I've got a couple of hellos to say and an acknowledgement at some point here in the first half that I want to make. But I want to say hi to Dalton Cooley, who is a very loyal listener to our broadcast. Got to see him a couple nights ago and says he regularly listens. I think I said hi to him last game too. But Dalton Cooley, want to say hi to you tonight. Thanks for listening.
On first and 10 to the 40, give to Lacoste. Little hesitation run off the left side. Lacoste will work his way across the 45 to the 46. Gain of 6 on first down, second and 4.
The acknowledgement I wanted to make, Ryan, was Scott Foss, former West Albany standout, plays his final college football game tomorrow for Western Oregon. The standout linebacker, both here and at Western, playing his final game. So certainly our thoughts are with him as he closes things out in a very successful football career for Scott Foss.
How is that possible?
Isn't that true? Well, you
How
think
is
of
that
Will,
much time?
Same year as Will Murphy and my son Alex and Will in his senior season at Oregon.
Lahota back to throw. Now can run. He'll tuck it and get into Ashland territory. Try to protect the ball and does. Inside the 45, down close to the 42. An impressive run by Lahota off a great play fake. Had all sorts of time, good coverage downfield by Ashland. Lahota tucks it in and takes it for a Bulldog first down.
He had a receiver open early too, but chose to hang on to it and then saw the field open up in front of him here. Great recognition by Lahota. Had a lot of green in front of him. Knew he was going to get stuck at the end of that play too. Good ball security and a first down for the Bulldogs.
At the 42 of the Grizzlies, West Albany leading 14-7, 8:15 to go in the first half. Give to Lacoste up the middle with a burst at the 35, dragging a defender down to the 30-yard line. 12 more for Jake Lacoste and a Bulldog first down.
Boy.
It's West trying to extend that 7-point lead.
Matt Soot, Colton Brandt on that right side of the line, just blowing things open, blowing things up for Lacoste to run through. Lead block from Hiram Crook at fullback. generating some huge yards tonight for Jake Lacoste.
First down and 10 at the Grizzlies' 30. It's West Albany trying now to wear down the defense of Ashland a little bit. Grizzlies again stacking the box. Lahota back to throw. Rolling to his left, in trouble, and he will be sacked back behind the 40-yard line. As heavy pressure came from a player not on the roster, number 44 for Ashland, but he comes up with the sack. Back to the 40, a loss of 10.
Well, he just doesn't get any credit on the radio then. They got to send us an accurate roster.
The guys down to our left, there's an Ashland crew here, and a big Ashland crew here tonight doing the broadcast. I'm sure they know who number 44 is, but he does not appear on our roster. He comes up with a big sack. We'll make it second down and 20 for the Bulldogs from the Grizzlies' 40. 7:20 to play in the first half.
Taking a lot of time to get this play off here, too. We'll watch the back judge.
Lahota settles under center, still has plenty of time, gives it to Lacoste. Jake has a crease, left side of the 35, and cut down low as he gets down to about the 32. Gain of 8, but again a good tackle out there. I think it was Atterbury who brought him down. To get Lacoste, you got to get him low, and that's what Atterbury did. It's a gain of 9. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Just got a text from Virgil Powell. He was already on my list of people to say hello to tonight. He hit me up first. So, hi, Virgil. Says he might make it for the second half of this game tonight. We'll hope to see him.
Be great to see Virgil. Was going through some Facebook pictures yesterday, and I saw the picture of interviewing Virgil during the basketball game last year when he had announced his commitment to Western. It's Lahota under pressure. Tried to break away, and he will throw to Breslin, who makes the catch. It's actually going to go down as a loss. Breslin will go down back about the 32-yard line. Lahota did well to get away from the pressure and get rid of it. Breslin made the catch, but it will go for a loss of actually a couple. It'll be 4th and long, and I think West will go here, kind of in no man's land at the Grizzlies' 33.
Yeah, punt really doesn't gain you that much unless you can just bury it right there inside the 5. So I think this is a good move. It's no change of personnel. Wouldn't shock me to see a timeout here to draw something up.
And that's what Randy, I think, just said. Wally, great diagnosis. Timeout, West
Even
Albany.
a broken clock's right twice a day.
Well, there's your first, so you got another one coming. You want the latest information on your favorite high school teams? Log on to OSAA.org and the OSAA Score Center. The OSAA Score Center has schedules, scores, and official rankings for all member schools in all team sports. At OSAA.org, you'll also find playoff brackets, broadcast schedules, and historical records. For more information, visit OSAA.org. I'll run through my hellos, I guess. It's a pretty short list, but hello as always to Dan Lacoste, Diane Lacoste, if they happen to be listening tonight. Always have to think of the boss, especially when U.S. Bank is the title sponsor of the OSAA. And also, for whatever reason, I just want to make a mention of this. I know they're not listening, but I want to say congratulations to a very good friend of mine, Ken Mashik, his wife Kelly. They just had a baby a couple of days ago, baby Mackenzie. Understand the baby is doing well down there as they are now home in Springfield. Again, I know they're not listening, but congratulations to them on the addition.
Very good. Congratulations. Hope it grows up to be probably won't grow up to be a Bulldog fan, but will be a Ryan fan.
I'm sure. How could you not be? He graduated from Marist, and somehow we're still friends. I graduated from Junction City, but we get along okay. 4th down and 12 out of the timeout from the Grizzlies' 32. Lahota back to throw. Pumps. Fires deep. He's looking for Breslin, and it's going to be knocked away incomplete. And a turnover on downs. Ashland holds. Pass turned around Breslin. Atterbury, the defender, got a hand on it. Did well just to knock it away. If he caught it, really would have been a boost for West Albany. He would have been down around the 2.
Yeah, challenge with these long passes in this weather right now. The wind has picked up a little bit. It continues to drizzle a little bit. But, these long pass plays, West Albany, we may find in the second half that West shortens up the pass patterns a little bit. When they feel like they need to go to the air, we might see a little bit more of 6 to 8 yards as opposed to going for the money shot every time.
5:46 to play in the first half. 14-7 West Albany. Ashland with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 32. On play action, Kagi back to throw. He's blasted as the ball comes loose. They'll say he was down. He was. The ground forcing the fumble, but a huge hit on the play.
Cole Zumwalt
just drilled him, a loss of 10.
Yeah, and that's, this might go back to what we were saying about Kagi and holding that ball too long. The coaches above us were screaming at him not, to let it go earlier. That time, little hesitation, good coverage downfield. He had nobody to throw to, and that's why he had to hang on to it. Zumwalt gets in there and gets the classic sack. Folds him in half.
Second down and 20, back at the 22. Kagi from shotgun, 2 receivers each side. Takes a pass, back to throw. Tries to set up a screen and throws it right at the ankles of Vols, incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 20. Kagi trying to set up the screen, but never had a chance. Threw it right at the feet of his running back.
And good recognition by the Bulldogs there. If he's even able to complete that, there's no blocking out in front of him. The Bulldogs had him sandwiched. That was going to be very minimal gain even if he completes that pass.
3rd and 20. West trying to force a 3 and out and get the ball right back here. Ashland from their own 22 with 5:02 to go in the first half. Bulldogs leading by 7. So we're going to have a whistle. Timeout Ashland? Yep. Timeout Ashland. 5:02 to play first half, and the Grizzlies will talk over a 3rd and long.
Well, you know the Grizzlies have situations where they want to be able to bring in that second quarterback. They want White to be able to come into the game, but they haven't gotten, with just the one time down in Bulldog territory, they haven't been in a position where they want to put in their scrambling quarterback, except on the touchdown run that they got. And West Albany defense doing a good job of keeping them deep in their own territory here now with a 3rd and 20 or so. 3rd and long. West Albany in a great position here to get the ball back with 5 minutes to go. After this 3rd down play, we'll hope that they don't get it, and then West Albany with 4+ minutes would have the ball back and a chance to score again before the half's done.
Wally, we know our listeners love to hear us talk about food, but we always promise that goodies mean airtime. Do you want to mention the folks who brought us some goodies tonight?
I sure do. First of all, from Lowell and Leslie Truelove and their son Austin brought us a great tin of cookies here, chocolate chip, and they are delicious. I sampled. You chose not to. I understand. You're going on the air. But that was treat 1. We'll talk about treat 2 here in just a second. But thanks to Leslie for baking. She said Lowell had nothing to do with it.
I will sample extensively. It just has to come after the game. Kagi back to throw on 3rd and 20. Trying to buy some time. Under pressure. He's going to go down. Matt Soot got him back inside the 10. Soot just climbed on his back, drags him down. A loss of 12. It'll be 4th down, 32, and West will get excellent field position.
Boy, this is a word you don't hear a lot in football broadcasts, but how about the fortitude of Matt Soot on that play? He was blocked very well, but he was keeping his head up, looking to see what was going to happen with the quarterback. When he saw the quarterback hesitate, when he saw Kagi not get rid of the ball, he just pile-drived his blocker and went and got the quarterback. Great play by Soot.
I don't know what the tattooed was, but apparently he had 4 of it on that play. The punt bounces to Valenzuela at the 39. JT sheds 1 tackle and will be wrapped up and dropped after a 5-yard return to the 34 of Ashland. It'll be 1st down and 10 with 4:13 to go in the first half.
You've got to come back for everything, don't you?
I've got to be quick-witted. When I work with you, I got to be able to think of comebacks.
Oh, man, that's beautiful.
Oh, they won't give JT a real great spot. It'll be at the 36 of Ashland, but still tremendous field position for West. The second time they've started inside the Ashland 40 with 4:13 to go in the first half. Bulldogs a golden opportunity here to extend a 7-point lead. It's 14-7 right now. LaHoda under center with Soto creeping in motion, tight to the formation right. Give it to Lacoste running right, waiting for a block. He'll be cut down as he nears the 30-yard line, down right at the 30. Matt Hedges made the stop, and again, Hedges went low. They're doing a very nice job of attacking the ankles of Jake Lacoste.
Yeah, they figured that out, and he knew that if Lacoste got to the corner, he was probably gone. Last line of defense with Hedges there does a nice job cutting him down at the ankles, but still Jake with a 6-yard gain.
Hedges, who is the place kicker also for Ashland in the defensive secondary. Second down, a short 5. Give to Jake off left guard. First down and more for Lacoste as he dives close to the 20 while he's indicating he very nearly broke it. It is a gain of 10 and a first down to the 20.
I'll be really interested. I have no idea how many yards Jake Lacoste has in this game right now. I'd be very, very interested to hear what Jeff Kiter has to say at halftime.
Can I tell you now?
Yeah, please.
154.
154. All right, halfway to 3. If I did my math correctly. Those flashcards are really paying off.
I'll have to get my calculator out here in a second. 1st and 10, and movement prior to the snap. This will be against West Albany, and whole offense went in motion as they did not have the snap count down. And it looked, Wally, very much like what?
Oh, the day after Thanksgiving at Kmart.
I love that. Especially this time of year. We're getting close to that.
We are getting close to
My
that.
goodness, it'll be 2 weeks from tonight.
You got my gift yet? My Christmas gift?
I have to get you a gift.
Yeah. Don't spend too much on me this year.
I thought you were getting me stuff. I thought we'd been over this.
It's embarrassing how much you spend on me year after year.
1st and 10, or 1st and 15 from the 25, and Jake Lacoste will carry for 2, so reach the 23 before he's driven backwards. Now they'll come in late. It seems very often you have a side judge on one side comes in, says about a yard, and the side judge on the other side comes in, says about 2. Then you have to decide who's going to win out. It's the one on the near side that wins. It'll be a gain of a yard to the 24. 2nd down and 14.
Start thinking about West Albany with only one timeout in their hip pocket here, 2.5 to go in the first half. And we've got a timeout Ashland. That really helps the Bulldogs.
So now Ashland has one timeout remaining with 2:38 to go in the first half. If you mention this ad from Go Postal, you'll receive 10% off your UPS or FedEx shipments. In North Albany's Hickory Station, your friendly neighborhood shipping center, Go Postal, offering UPS, FedEx, and U.S. postal services. Seems a decent time to mention what's coming up for football in the Valley. College-wise tomorrow, Oregon State will be down on the farm. Palo Alto and Stanford, 11:30 for the kickoff. Strange for a West Coast game. I know some people who are doing a doubleheader tomorrow in the Bay Area because the Ducks will then play at 7:30 in Berkeley against California. The late game that you can, of course, hear on our sister station, 1580 KGAL. Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen will have the call on that. Ducks and the Cal Bears tomorrow night, 7:30 on KGAL.
I think if you weren't headed up to see the Jets and the Seahawks on Sunday, we'd probably just hop on your jet and go down and do that doubleheader, wouldn't we?
Might think about it. 2nd and 14 from the 24. Give to Lacoste. Jake wrapped and drives the legs close to the 20. Back to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd down and 10. 2:27 and running. Still plenty of time here for West, but as Wally has said, one timeout only.
Thought maybe we'd see a face mask. Looked like Jake's head kind of got jerked back on that play. I wonder if we were going to see a face mask flag. No such luck. 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. I formation. As again Lacoste creeped in motion, and they will blow it dead. Now Jake's going to continue to run, but the flag down. They did blow this dead. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against West Albany, 3rd down and 15. And I don't know what it is right now with the snap count, but that's twice now that the tailback has moved prior to the snap. Just chomping at the bit.
Just anxious to get at it. End of that play, he just leveled one of the secondary players. I didn't catch the number. One of the secondary players for Ashland. Jake Lacoste just lowered his shoulder and leveled him.
That's a little scary when only a couple of players hear the whistle and the play continues, where somebody can really take a pop if you let up and somebody else doesn't.
Right.
Fortunately for West Albany fans, it was Lacoste who really lowered the boom there. 3rd down and 15 from the Grizzlies' 25. Tight formation with Valenzuela isolated right. Lahota gives it to Lacoste up the middle. Jake with a burst. Jake at the 10. Jake will score with a flag down. There's a flag down back at the 12 that came in very late. Jake was already at the goal line when the flag came in, but it's going to be block in the back.
Yep.
While he said a clip.
Yep, could see it from here, Ryan, and it's absolutely true. I don't always agree with the men in stripes, but that was a good call right there. That one needed to come back.
So the block in the back, taking points off the board. That's big. It will make it 3rd down and 12. Back it up to the 22. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Jake Lacoste blasted through the hole and gone up the middle for a touchdown.
How about that hole? He was untouched.
Still 2-down territory here. 3rd and 12 from the Grizzlies' 22. Minute 43 to go in the first half. 14-7 West Albany. Lahota gives it again to Lacoste up the middle. Not much there. Inside the 20. Down inside the 18-yard line. Gain of about 4. Will be 3rd down and 8. Or 4th down and 8, I should say.
A minute and a half to go, and Coach Nyquist won't burn a timeout here. I can't imagine that he would, but it looks like he's kind of relaxed in giving the play to Lahota. But now you want time to come off the clock.
Yeah, you don't want to give Ashland much time if you don't convert here.
Right.
4th and 8.
Still one timeout in Bulldog hip pocket.
The play call here will be interesting. Jake Lacoste averages better than 10 yards a carry on the season, but do you count on him to pick up 8 here on 4th and 8 as we'll have a whistle and a timeout now by West with 1:04 to go. So A lot of time had come off. West seemed ready to take the snap, and now they do take their third and final timeout of the half.
That's just... Clock management becomes so important, especially in the playoffs, Ryan. This is a tight football game. Bulldogs with a 14-7 lead. Minute to go here in the half, and clock management becomes so important. Bulldogs inside the red zone. You have to make good decisions. You have to be organized, and West looked disorganized going out there for that play.
1:04 to play in the first half. 14-7, West Albany.
Are they going to think about a field goal try here?
No. I don't believe so. The offense is out on the field. Dion Webb is rubbing his hands together. Matt Wiest is coming down as though they want to come out, but this would be about a 35-yard try from where it stands right now at the 18. And the special teams is not out there. West Albany is going to go. Not to the offensive fireworks that maybe the numbers had said this game might be. The weather perhaps having something to do with that. Both teams with a couple of miscues, shooting themselves in the foot. Particularly West Albany with penalties.
And Jake Lacoste is not in the offensive backfield. He slid out to the left.
Split him out to the left. Lahota back to throw, looking that way. Fires on the slant. Jake makes a diving catch at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. What a weapon.
What can you say? Now the Bulldogs do hurry as they will wind the clock. They get the ball set, and they will wind it here as the Bulldogs hurry to the line.
Still plenty of time. 58 seconds. As they put it in play from the 5, 1st and goal. Give to Lacoste, off left side. Jake driving the shoulder, and he is hogtied down near the 1-yard line. They rush Lahota back out. There's still plenty of time, 44 seconds, but they don't want Cody coming all the way to the sidelines for the play. 2nd down and goal at the 1. Left hash. Washburn in front of Lacoste in the eye. As we're going to get a whistle. I don't see a flag.
I think we're going to have an Ashland timeout.
Ashland timeout. So before the snap, and I think that might be fortunate because it looked to me again like there was movement in the West Albany backfield, maybe prior to the snap, but the timeout for Ashland preceded it.
Yeah, West Albany not used to the hurry up and the no huddle, and that time they did scramble to the line. Still plenty of time. We've got half a minute to go here in this second quarter. But I think you're absolutely right. West Albany not used to being in that mode, though. Not scrambling to get plays off.
Well, time now to set the offensive line. Time, of course, for Ashland to set a defense, and they will stack all 11 right at the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and goal from the 1. Now, if you don't get in, of course, goes without saying, you got to regroup, get the snap off in a hurry. No timeouts remaining for either team.
That would be an interesting thing to decide, too, for Lahota as he's out there. If you don't get this here, do you spike it and then it's 4th down?
It'd be 4th down,
or do you try and get reset maybe with under 10 seconds to go and get a play?
I'm sure Randy's telling him, regroup, get a snap. They'll give it to Jake Lacoste. Jake drives the shoulders, leans forward, and gets in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Jake Lacoste able to lean across the goal line, and the Bulldogs extend to a 13-point lead, point after pending.
Oh, boy, that's a huge touchdown there. It's the Bulldogs, they will kick off. Ashland will have some chances here, barring a touchdown or a great run back on the kickoff here. The Bulldogs have a chance to go into this halftime with a 2-touchdown lead.
Matt Wiest on for the PAT. Out of the hold of Ben Engel with the snap of Dion Webb. Snap and hold both good. The kick with plenty of arc, up and good. With 31 seconds remaining in the first half, West Albany 21, Ashland 7. We'll take a break and return to the OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championship on KSHO.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness at Hickory Station in North Albany, where you can receive a free Snap t-shirt and ball cap just for mentioning this ad while you are enrolling. Enjoy your workouts at Snap Fitness Albany.
Lynn Lanes in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lanes in Lebanon.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Looking to save money on lighting fixtures? Larry and Marge Tomlin, owners of J&J Electric, invite you to compare prices, but don't buy until you've seen the high quality and low prices at J&J. Visit their spectacular showroom. The hometown folks at J&J Electric appreciate your business. J&J Electric, South Pacific and 22nd in Albany.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Jake Lacoste with his third touchdown run of the night, putting West Albany up 21-7 with 31 seconds to go in the half, and Matt Wiest with a low line drive kick that Quade Walters will juggle in at the 9, waiting for a block. Up the middle, across the 20, down about the 25-yard line. It's actually Austin Chandler on the return as Chandler takes it to the 25, 16-yard return. First down, Grizzlies out of timeouts with 24.4 to go in the first half.
Yeah, with no timeouts and 24 seconds to go, I would be surprised if they put this ball in the air. West Albany, a little confusion on defense.
Well, it's Daniel White who is in the shotgun. That indicates maybe a run here from Ashland. It's White who has the lone touchdown so far for the Grizzlies. We'll give it up the middle to Vols. Vols will take it for a couple, but that indicates Ashland is pretty content to head to the locker room here. Again, they come right to the line of scrimmage, but White is already walking to the sideline with 8 seconds, with 7. White taking forever to get the play call. They're not going to take another snap. It's going to go to the locker room, and at halftime here, round 1 of the 5A Football State Championships, it's West Albany 21, Ashland 7. We'll take a timeout and return to 920 KSHO.
Staying on top of your savings can be like staying on top of a mechanical bull or an extreme ski slope. But U.S. Bank makes saving easy with Start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow lets you save slow.
Yes.
Or fast. Save $1,000, earn a $50 U.S. Bank Rewards Visa card. Keep the balance for a year and get another $50.
Awesome.
Start today at any U.S. Bank or usbank.com/start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank. Conditions apply. See the Start program agreement or a banker for details. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank N.A. member FDIC.
So you're driving to work in the morning when you hit a detour down a gravel road for 18 miles. Luckily, every car or pickup tire that Les Schwab sells comes with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Along with great prices, we give you free flat repairs, rebalancing, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. So, why lifetime protection? Because you just might need it. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
920 KSHO.
Here at West Albany High School, it's halftime. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, Jeff Kiter along shortly with our first half stats. 21-7, West Albany leading Ashland. Teams are tied at 7 at the end of 2 one-yard touchdown runs by Jake Lacoste in the second quarter, providing West with a little bit of breathing room. And the Bulldogs will get the ball first to start the second half. We mentioned, Wally, the game 3 years ago. West Albany won that one 75-0. Said there was no chance that would be the score here this year. Been much more closely contested, and West Albany fortunate to have the 2-touchdown lead at the half.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. And West Albany relatively penalty-free in the second quarter, and it turned into points for the Bulldogs. They were able to get some momentum. They were able to do some things offensively that they wanted to do on the shoulders of Jake Lacoste and that big offensive line. But defensively, I was so impressed with what the Bulldogs did there in that second quarter. They were basically shut down Ashland, and what Kagi, the quarterback, wanted to do. Got after him, a little bit more pressure on Kagi there in the second quarter, and it with a couple of sacks, and really I thought they got after him well. Coverage downfield with the receivers was more solid in the second half, or in the second quarter, excuse me. The Grizzlies had some success in that first quarter with the short pass. They moved the ball down the field on what was a very impressive drive that was aided by some West Albany penalties. But it was certainly a great second quarter for the Bulldogs. They extended their lead by 2 touchdowns and have that 2-touchdown lead now going into the third quarter.
Bulldogs a couple of times tonight have gotten a short field after short punts from Ashland. They've cashed in both times a 37-yard touchdown drive on their first possession of the game, 36 yards on their final possession of the first half. 3 more touchdowns from Jake Lacoste, better than 150 yards in the first half. It's really amazing. Everybody knows that he's going to get the ball 30 times a game. They know where it's going. He continues to get it done. So much credit to him. So much credit to the offensive line. One thing we haven't mentioned is West is missing one of their regular starters on the offensive line, Steely Smith. He's not in uniform tonight, but the players who have filled in for him, Matt Soot, I think, namely, have done a tremendous job.
Yeah, they really have. West Albany, they have such depth, Ryan, and the coaching staff, with the amount of playing time that the reserves get over the course of the regular season, I think benefits them in situations like this right now, where maybe they're missing a player or two, other players step up and they continue to make plays, they continue to do things, and most importantly, the reserves that come in and get the opportunity don't hurt you. And that's certainly a benefit to West Albany tonight, and they haven't missed a beat. They little sluggish start defensively here for the Bulldogs, but really stepped it up. And you're right, both lines right now for the Bulldogs are just doing a stellar job.
The rain really subsided not too long after kickoff. It was coming down pretty hard between the time that we arrived and the start of the game. It really opened up. But the weather has not been as much of a factor as we thought it might be. One thing West Albany's been able to do is kind of disrupt the timing of the Ashland passing game a little bit. We saw in the touchdown drive, Ashland was really able to pick the Bulldogs little by little down the field. But West has been able to get good pressure, get to Connor Kagi a couple of times, and just alter the timing. We've seen him just behind receivers, in front of receivers, not quite operating at high octane.
I think that some of that has to do with Ashland's not very big. I think that West Albany defensive line is starting to wear on Ashland a little bit. I think Ashland was hyped and ready to go there in the first quarter, but I think the size of West Albany is really starting to wear on them now, and I think that's why we're seeing more pressure getting to the quarterback.
You can earn rewards, exclusive discounts, and preferred rates with a U.S. Bank package. Choose a silver, gold, or platinum checking and create a package with the features that are right for you. U.S. Bank, all of us serving you. See Banker for details. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank National Association, N.A., member FDIC. Halftime at West Albany. It's the Bulldogs 21, the Grizzlies 7. We'll take a timeout, come back in just a moment at 9:20 KSHO.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help. Highway 99E Tangent.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Unforgettable 920.
Back at West here on Friday. Happy weekend to you. Playoff football tonight with West Albany leading Ashland 21-7. Pleased to welcome in the man who can tell us a little bit how we got there with the numbers. Halftime stats, Jeff Kiter along. Jeff, another great first half for Jake Lacoste. 3 touchdowns and piling up the running yards.
Yeah, he's definitely done that in a hurry. It doesn't quite have the 10 to 15 yard average that we're used to seeing in Jake, but before you know it, he has 185 yards on 27 carries in the first half, and also had the 3 touchdowns. He's been very patient. The hole isn't always there, but you give him just a little bit of a crease, and he takes advantage of it. Cody LaHoda also had 2 carries for a net of 3 yards. You got to count the 1 sack for the -10.
Yeah.
Hiram Crook had 1 carry for 2 yards. And so the Bulldogs had a total of 190 yards rushing in the first half on 30 carries. Cody LaHoda at the quarterback position was 2 of 4 for a net of 11 yards. That 1 pass to Brendan Breslin was for -2. And then the completion to Jake for the first down. That was for 13 yards, so a net of 11 yards. The Bulldogs really took control on the ground in the first half with 11 first downs compared to Ashland only having 3.
Wow.
Again, the penalties cost them a little touchdown there at the end of the first half, but they made it up later. Penalties, 8 penalties for 70 yards for the Bulldogs. Ashland had 1 penalty for 5 yards. For the Bulldogs defense, which is holding Ashland in the first half, 10 carries for a net of 10 yards. Wow. So solid defense on the ground. And their quarterback, Connor Kagi, is it Kagi?
I believe so,
okay. 5 of 10 for a net of 30 yards. So solid effort defensively. Led in tackles by J.T. Valenzuela with 4. Joey Roos had 2. Carson French had 2. Alex Boyd, 3. Cole Zumwalt had a tackle and a sack, and Matt Soot had 2 tackles and a sack. So not the type of game that we're really used to seeing from the Bulldogs, but they're just methodically taking care of business. I think that's a good way to describe it at this point.
And we'll hope it continues.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter with our halftime stats here, with West Albany leading Ashland at 21-7 at intermission. As I see, Wally was exchanging pleasantries with friend of the broadcast, John Birchfield.
Yeah, I wonder if you want to talk a little water polo with him, or should we just let that go?
Well, we have our own fall sports update
Very
here,
good.
and I was going to say John is a focal point of that update. We've talked a little bit about the volleyball team throughout the first half. Volleyball won 2 matches today. In the quarterfinals, they beat Lebanon. 17 kills from Peyton Rund this morning. Again, Lebanon was the only team that had taken a set from West Albany. 1 set is all they lost in 5A. The only 5A team to take a set. West avenging that, sweeping Lebanon in the quarterfinals. They swept Marshfield in the semis, so they play in the championship tomorrow. That is taking place up at Liberty High School in Hillsborough. Best of luck to volleyball. As Wally mentioned earlier also, boys and girls water polo both play for state championships tomorrow. And a couple of individual mentions. On the girls' side for West Albany's water polo, Alex Glenn was league MVP. Kenzie Bass, Amanda Kitchen, and Michaela Kloss all also made the first team. Jocelyn Harding was on the second team. And on the boys' side, Travis Cox was the league MVP on the first team, along with Josh Bryant and Gabe, I believe, DeSimone? Just DeSimone, all right. And John Birchfield, in goal, made the second team. Both those teams, boys and girls water polo, go for state championships tomorrow. The other 2 teams for West Albany, boys and girls soccer, their season's both done. Boys soccer had their season end in the play-in round. They lost 3-2 to Franklin last Friday, ending their season at 6-3-5. Edwin Gonzalez, Ruben Gutierrez, both named first team All-Mid-Willamette Conference. And girls soccer also saw their season end at the hands of Bend. That was 3-1 in the first round of the OSAA state playoffs. Lauren Kimura had the lone goal on an assist from another Lauren. Lauren Johnson. Girls soccer finished at 8-6-1. I apologize, I could not find all league honors for girls soccer, but had the all-league honor for boys soccer. And just a couple of quick mentions here related to Albany. It is Veterans Day weekend here. One of maybe a little bit overlooked in the spectrum of federal holidays, but one of the most important if you think about what it really means. And when you look at the largest Veterans Day parades in the country, the largest Veterans Day parade west of the Mississippi will be here, be in Albany tomorrow. It begins at the overpass on Pacific Highway, ends at the Lynn County Courthouse, starts at 11 a.m. I believe that my dad, Radio Ray, will be in the KSHO van tomorrow in the Veterans Day parade. Come on out. Obviously, we owe so much to the veterans, more than we can ever say. Good time to honor them, and there will be a lot in attendance at the parade.
Very nicely said, Ryan, and completely agree with you. That parade is an event, and there will be a flyover. I believe that's scheduled to come over about 11:45. It is a true Albany tradition, and just such a great event. Get huge crowds downtown for the parade, and always a lot of fun. And plan to have the grandkids down there with me, with Renee and myself tomorrow, and watching the parade.
Mr. White, Max White, telling us that there will be a plane christened with the name Albany in the coming week. And that's certainly a big deal, named after various cities throughout the state. That'll be christened next week. And how about this for dedication? He's a substitute teacher next week, so that precludes his ability to go to the ceremony.
Oh, man, and you know, you could tell he was very proud of that plane was going to be christened with the name Albany, and really sorry that he couldn't make it, but that's dedication, and certainly that is true of Max White.
And one final mention, we're not going to dive into politics, but this last week was election week, obviously. It's also gotten a little colder. We see the propane heaters down on the sideline. Why did those two come together? Because the propane heaters are presented by new Lynn County Commissioner, Roger Nyquist. Congratulations.
Re-elected Lynn County Commissioner.
That's what I should say. Yeah, re-elected, but re-elected handily. Roger Nyquist, congratulations to him, and I'm sure the West Albany players very grateful for those propane heaters on what is a frigid night here in Albany.
Oh, he becomes their best friend and biggest hero when he breaks out the heaters on these kinds of nights. I want to go back to the fall sports report and the all league selections and such. I want to say hi while we're at it to Kathy Mitchell, who is a very, very loyal listener. Listens to every broadcast that she can. Huge Ryan Pitts fan. The reason I say that, she is Kathy DeSimone Mitchell.
Okay.
And I'm not sure exactly what the relationship is, but there is a tie to the girls water polo player. I just can't remember what the relationship is.
Now, 21-7 is our score here at halftime. West Albany leading Ashland here in the state playoffs. It's been a tremendous first half for the Bulldogs, really on both sides of the ball. I worried looking at the matchup that on paper there were some things that worried me, I'll say, about Ashland, their ability to move the ball. They had scored a ton of points in the last 5 weeks, but you wondered with the teams that they had played if they could replicate that tonight. So far, they haven't been able to. There's a lot of game left to be played, but the Bulldogs, against that spread look, providing some hope that, if they do advance, that they can move here through the 5A playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate statement there. And when you have this 2-touchdown lead, you feel good going into the second half. But let's look at what Ashland can do. They can do it in the air. They can, when you have a quick strike team, a team that can do a lot through the air, they can come back in a hurry. And West Albany knows that. But West Albany, they're going to be up to the task. This what I saw in the second half defensively from this team was very, very impressive, and I see no reason to believe we won't see that. Now Ashland will make some adjustments. I think they will go back to the shorter passes. They've got a whole half of football to play here. I think they talk to their quarterbacks about getting rid of the ball quicker, getting it to their receivers quicker, and with the shorter patterns there, and trying to pick apart West Albany a little bit more. I think we'll see a lot more of that from Ashland in the second half.
That's where they had the most success on their lone touchdown drive, the short passing game, and then Daniel White, more of the running quarterback, came in, ran in for 5 yards, the only Ashland touchdown. Jake Lacoste, all 3 touchdowns for West on a 15-yard run in the first quarter and 2 one-yard runs in the second quarter. Some scores to pass along from games going on elsewhere in 5A. Don't know where these games are at in terms of quarter, but some scores. Redmond leading Churchill 13-7. Crescent Valley is leading Wilson 14-0. Go Mid-Willamette Conference. Mountain View leads Wilsonville 7-0. Marist leads Hermiston 33-0. Silverton over Putnam 21-0. And Sherwood over Lebanon 22-8. I have not gotten an update along from Scott Landgren throughout the course of the night, but Lebanon is not too bad, down 14 to Sherwood.
Right. And the first one that you read, the Churchill score, of any of the teams that I thought could be upset tonight, I thought certainly Redmond is primed for that. I think Redmond is severely overrated, and it wouldn't shock me a bit if Churchill was able to knock them off in this game, or maybe possibly next week have Redmond go down. Redmond number 1 in the power rankings of 5A, and this is sometime we're going to be able to have the time to have this discussion, Ryan, but the power rankings need to be adjusted. Redmond number 1 in the power rankings. 4 of their first 6 wins were against 4A teams. And the power rankings don't take that into consideration. Now, those teams are, I guess we're having the discussion now.
Feel free.
Those teams are solid 4A teams, but they are 4A teams. And if you're going to, if that's going to be the case, then why would a team play like West Albany did, play a Lake Ridge, play up, and not go ahead and soften your schedule, play some lower tier teams to bump up your power ranking to get home field advantages through the playoffs? It boggles me that hasn't been addressed in the power rankings to this point. And Redmond sitting there at number 1 in the power rankings, they get home field advantage in the first 2 rounds. It's something that needs to be fixed in the power rankings.
I agree with you. Not to go on in a lengthy diatribe here, but it does seem that it rewards teams just for playing good teams. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose. I mean, if you lose to good teams, it helps your power ranking, which is kind of strange. You had teams with losing records that made the playoffs, teams with winning records that didn't. They do try to take into account strength of schedule, and I commend them for giving the effort and trying to create the system. Obviously, it has some tweaking left to do. It's only a couple of years old, and I'm sure they will continue to try and fine-tune that system. But Redmond's a team that's sort of an unknown quantity. I mean, Silverton played in the league with West Albany. You had in the Midwestern League, Marist played with teams like Ashland and Springfield. Who am I leaving out here? Wilsonville in the Northwest Oregon Conference. Sherwood, obviously, in the Northwest Oregon Conference. Some good teams. That Intermountain wasn't as strong this year. Bend really struggled. Mountain View, the defending champion, they were up and down. So Redmond, while undefeated, really an unknown quantity as they head into the playoffs.
Yeah, they impressed me a little bit more when they knocked off Bend, although that game went to overtime. Redmond and Bend went to overtime, and then they took care of Mountain View in the last 2 games of the season. So they certainly finished strong and had a couple of impressive wins there, although Bend isn't all that impressive a win this season. But to beat Mountain View, certainly. Mountain View had a very tough schedule over the course of the season. I kept them in the Oregon Live rankings in my voting. I kept Mountain View ranked in the top 10 the entire season, just because of the strength of the teams that they were playing, especially in the preseason. Very challenging schedule for Mountain View, but Redmond took care of them, and they're undefeated and they're sitting there at number 1. I just think they're primed to be knocked off by a team, and Churchill certainly is hanging close with them tonight. That's at Redmond. It wouldn't shock me a bit to see a final of Churchill winning that game.
Well, and you think we're cold tonight? Imagine being over at Redmond.
Yeah.
I was checking Trip Check. I love seeing the winter scenes, and so sometimes on slow moments I'll go on to Trip Check and see what it's doing in the pass. And it was really coming down at San Am Pass. And I don't think there's anything on the ground east of the Cascades yet, but it's got to be very, very cold in Redmond tonight. That's where Churchill is playing. Just about set here to start the third quarter, as we will sit back down. No wind, light rain as we'll start the third quarter. West Albany leading 21-7. Bulldogs will get the ball here to start the third.
Did somebody bring a steak up here or something?
It smells good, doesn't it? Boy, does it ever. They announced that they had clam chowder down in the concession stand before the game, and it just drove me nuts. I love clam chowder, and it sounded so good on a cold night. JT Valenzuela with the return, and JT able to keep his feet across the 30. Ashland saying they've got the ball on their sideline. No signal from the officials, and West Albany is able to retain possession. So the ball did come out, but West keeps it at their own 35, first down and 10. I don't know if it's audible on the mic, but JT Valenzuela's mother is just below us. And the JT Valenzuela cheering section here tonight.
And the whole crew.
First down, Bulldogs. Heavy dose of Jake Lacoste in the first half. As Jeff Kiter said, 27 carries. Better than 180 yards, 3 touchdowns, up to 37 now on the season. Lahota under center on first and 10 to the 35, gives it to Jake for carry number 28. Flag comes in as Lacoste will drag his way for a first down, but this will come back. Not a good way to start the second half with yellow on the field holding West Albany.
Boy, they seem to really be watching that closely. West Albany played basically penalty-free there in that second quarter and contributed to a lot of momentum in that quarter. Don't like to see things start out with first and 20 here after the holding penalty.
Penalties now 9-1. West Albany, 9 penalties. Ashland with 1. As the Bulldogs will have it first down 19. They'll set up from their own 26. Wait, we stood up there at halftime, and now back right in front of the open window. It feels like the temperature has really dropped, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has, and the door's been opened several times.
Give to Jake on first and 19. Get some of it back across the 30. Near the 34. Pickup of about 7 for Lacoste. Bringing up second down and 12. Opening minute here of the second half. West Albany leads at 21-7. The winner heads up to play the winner of the Silverton-Putnam game. Silverton in control. Last update leading 21-0. How much would the Bulldogs love a rematch with Silverton?
Would sure like to have that here, but you'll take it where you can get it, and the rematch is exactly what we're looking at.
Lahota, give to Jake, exploding up the middle across the 40 to the 41, short of the first down by about 4. It'll be 3rd and 4. Lacoste hitting the hole hard again. as he nears 200 yards for the night.
Well, West Albany always looking to step on the air hose of an opponent, and certainly this would go a long way. If you can keep moving the sticks here on this initial drive of the third quarter here, this becomes a big play offensively here for the Bulldogs, still on their side of the field at the 40-yard line. Big 3rd down and 4 play.
This would be huge. Hiram Crook, fullback. Jake Lacoste, tailback behind Lahota. Soto in motion. Ashland stack in the box. Give to Jake. Jake is hit at the line and dropped. Short gain, maybe a yard. It'll be 4th down and about 3 here for the Bulldogs. A decision. I don't know how much of a decision, but a decision here for West. 4th and short.
No change of personnel. This really surprises me here. If they go for it here, this is huge faith in your defense.
Boy, is it ever. I mean, you nailed it. Nobody has changed. Breslin is the punter. Taking a lot of time here to talk to Lahota, who will bring it back into the huddle. For now, it appears the Bulldogs will go. I don't know if this is a case where he says, hey, try and draw them off sides, and if you can't, call a timeout.
Yeah, but here comes the hand of the back judge, too. We're getting a timeout.
They really have to hurry, and there is the timeout. Timeout West Albany, 9:38 to go here in the third. And that hurts to burn a timeout this early in the second half on a 4th and 3. West from their own 42, and now we see the change, and the Bulldogs will punt. I think that their intention there, this is just a thought, was that they would come to the line, try to draw Ashland off sides, and if they couldn't do it, call the timeout and bring out the punter.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too disorganized to make that happen. It took too long to get the play out onto the field. No chance for that to happen. Boy, you hate to be lined up to go for it on 4th down, call the timeout, and then bring out your punt team. That's not the start that West Albany needed right here.
Big stand for Ashland to start the second half. Certainly West Albany was hoping that they could take control, maybe get to a 3-touchdown lead.
I'm sorry, Ryan, but Ashland just recognized that West Albany had changed personnel.
Yeah, they were playing it safe. Now they rush out the punt return team. Quade Walters goes deep. He's back inside his 30. Brendan Breslin on for his first punt of the night. Second-team punter in the Mid-Willamette Conference. Brendan, a great athlete. Seen him go high for a couple of snaps this year. Doesn't have to here, and gets away. A low kick. Should take a Bulldog roll, and does. Inside the 30, inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. 35-yard punt, no return. Ashland will take over 1st and 10 from their own 23. 9:28 to go in the third quarter. That fine smell of maybe a steak seems a good time to say, for any occasion, enjoy a complete, affordable family dining experience at the Cascade Grill on Knox Butte Road in Albany. Cascade Grill. That would be just about visible from here if you took out a couple of trees in the building. Way out off on the horizon.
I just sit here amazed at how you segue into things. That's just
seamless.
You're just a pro.
Seamless transition. Daniel White takes a snap to start the third quarter. Option right, pitching for John Voles, and Voles is drilled out of bounds after a short gain. Daniel White, who brings that scrambling mentality to the quarterback spot, running the option with Voles. Not much there. Good job by West.
Yeah, and White, you could tell he's got quick feet. He's used to running, and that's a nice play. But they ran it to the short side of the field, and West Albany stretched it out nicely. And good job defensively here, 2nd and long.
2nd and 8, near the 25. White with a man in motion, going to keep up the middle. Good fake, and White dives across the 30, near the 32, short of the first down by about 1.5 yards. It was a great fake. He had a man coming in motion, faked it to him, went up the middle, a couple yards before contact, and it's 3rd down and short.
Yeah, if JT Valenzuela doesn't make that tackle, he's probably still running.
So Daniel White with this opening series here of the second half. Connor Kagi for now is on the bench. White from shotgun. No back near him. Now Voles goes in motion. And it'll be White on the keeper. And White is going to be hit and dropped short of the first down. Tried to spin his way forward. Could not get there. It'll be 4th down and 1 yard. Great pursuit by West. Carson French was in on the stop for West.
And this is interesting, too. They're going to measure this. But
he's short.
Yeah, I've got to believe he's short. But didn't see any hint of a change of personnel for Ashland on that. But they probably are hearing him say, yeah, we're going to measure this anyway.
I'm sure he's short. He's not short by a lot. I mean, it would be 4th down and, less than 1 yard. But
buys some time for the coach to make a decision here, too.
They extend the chains. It's closer than I thought, but he is short. 4th and inches upcoming here for Ashland. And let's see now. Charlie Hall with his first real decision, the Ashland head coach. Looks like he's going to keep the offense out there. 4th down and inches. Ashland from their own 33. Bulldogs leading by 2 touchdowns. 8:31 to go in the third quarter. This becomes the biggest play of the night thus far.
West Albany defensively, number 66, Jace Burton, 5'9", 215-pound sophomore in it. Unless there's been a change of uniform by somebody, that's Jace Burton out there. Not a name we've called very much on the season.
An Ashland lineman stood up before the play. Ashland's going to run for a first down. Now, twice there was a flinch, and then the lineman flat out stood up. They don't throw a flag, and Ashland gets a first down, and that's hideous.
That is unbelievable.
There was movement. It was just a flinch, but then the left tackle for Ashland just stood up. He stood up before the snap. No flag, no whistle, and Randy Nyquist is hopping mad. That's incredible. First down, Ashland at their own 35.
What's incredible is the number of flags they've thrown in this game, and then they don't spot that one?
Wow. That is incredible. 1st and 10 Ashland from their own 35. Under 8 to go in the third quarter. White with backs to each side. Takes a snap, gives it to Voles, trying to run right, hammered. Voles will lose about a yard. Let's see if this fired up the Bulldog defense. Nathan Clark in for the pop.
Yeah, and Ryan, I'm going to make a correction here. The way I saw number 66 line up there at linebacker, I don't see number 9. That's got to be Tanner Gardner.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to point that out before I got carried away with the movement. 2nd down and about 12. White brings Voles in motion. And will keep off the fake. White with a crease and a first down across the 45, out close to the 47-yard line.
Ryan, going back to that play, you've got 4 men in stripes out there on the play where they didn't call the false start on Ashland. Now Ashland with momentum as they approach midfield here, but stood up. Yeah. I mean, literally stood up.
It's amazing. It's incredible. And I mean, there was so much commotion from the crowd. The crowd certainly saw it. Everybody else missed it. White gives to Voles. Voles is hit quickly. He'll lean for 2 out near the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
And the caped one has joined us in the booth.
Are these tights or is that spray paint? They're tights, okay. I was wondering if John had spray painted his legs gold. They are tights. You got hot chocolate there? Attaboy. You got to be freezing. 6:45 to go third quarter. 2nd down 8, Ashland. White works with backs to each side. Takes a snap, gives to Voles. Voles is stood up at the line, tries to fight outside, and will pick up maybe a yard. If that is Gardner, number 66, he was the first with contact. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Well, obviously the whole field now is 2-down territory. If Ashland was going for it on 4th down deeper in their own territory, so 2 downs to get it. But 3rd and long, the situations West has wanted to see, and we'll see if they can get some pressure on the quarterback here.
3rd down and 7, trying to make that non-call on 4th and short moot. Ashland from their own 49, coming down to the midway point of the third quarter. Bulldogs up 14. It's White, the lefty, back to throw. Sets up, fires deep down the far sideline, and it is knocked away by Joey Roos. Thompson had great coverage out there on Walters, and it was Roos who spiked it away. 4th and 7 upcoming. Joey Roos would be another one who could make a pretty solid case for first team all-league.
No question, especially the early season that he had. You know, sometimes you don't get the recognition when you aren't making as many of those kinds of plays. Had a lot of his interceptions early in the season. Got dinged up a little bit, but certainly you could make a case for Roos.
Now it seems Ashland will punt, or will they? Daniel White creeps up close to the formation. 4th and 7 Ashland from their own 49. Atterbury is back in punt formation. He does take the snap and gets away a low line drive kick. Angling away from Valenzuela, it rolls past JT, picked up at the 1. Valenzuela eludes the first wave, gets out across the 10, gets near the 15-yard line, and just across the 15 before he's taken down.
Boy, and it's good that he did pick that up. I was thinking let that roll into the end zone, but I think that would have died at about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that worked out beautifully. But a good return by JT takes the Bulldogs out of serious danger. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 16. 5:45 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs still maintaining the 21-7 lead. You ready for tomorrow, John?
Yes, sir.
Trying to keep your mind off it?
Yeah, just hoping not to get sick.
Well, you can stay up here with us. John Birchfield will be in the state championship water polo match tomorrow. In goal for West is Jake Lacoste. Takes a first down carry for about 4 out to the 20. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Got a special hello, I want to say. Mitch Benedict and buddies are out behind the goalpost out here watching the game and listening to the broadcast. In their car. In their rig.
In their car.
In
wow.
their rigs.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that's a good way to watch a West Albany game if you know you might be out in the rain. Say hi to Mitch and the rest of the crew listening to us. Appreciate you listening.
2nd and 6. Lahota gives to Jake Lacoste. Jake trying to break tackles. Takes it out to the 24 for a gain of 4. 3rd down and 2 upcoming for the Bulldogs. 5 minutes and under here to go in the 3rd quarter.
Just got a notification, too, that this last Wednesday was John Birchfield's birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, buddy.
I'm not going to sing to him or anything, but and I'll take this opportunity to say that next Wednesday would be your birthday. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll forget later in the broadcast. I was going to do that later, but happy birthday to you.
Jake with a carry. Jake breaking away. Off left tackle, midfield. 45-40, 35-30, at the 20, at the 10. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 75 yards for Jake Lacoste. You scan the field. No flags. Touchdown, West.
Untouched. The whole play, 75 yards untouched. Not at the line, not in the secondary, and certainly not as he was being chased. Beautiful run, beautiful job by that left side of the line. Opening the hole, that's Zumwalt, that's Alex Boyd, that's True Love center. Beautiful job by the offensive line, blowing that open. Takes it to the house.
Jeff had said during the halftime stats, not maybe the 10-yard average we're used to from Jake. That'll boost the average. 75 yards to the house. His 4th touchdown of the night. And Matt Wiest on for the point after, trying to make it 28-7. Snap a little high. Ben puts it down, and Wiest puts it through. 4:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. West Albany 28, Ashland 7. We'll return in a moment with the 5A football state championships on KSHO.
Staying on top of your savings can be like staying on top of a mechanical bull or an extreme ski slope. But U.S. Bank makes saving easy with Start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow lets you save slow.
Yes.
Or fast. Save $1,000, earn a $50 U.S. Bank Rewards Visa card. Keep the balance for a year and get another $50.
Awesome.
Start today at any U.S. Bank or usbank.com/start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank. Conditions apply. See the Start program agreement or a banker for details. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank N.A. member FDIC.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
4:25 to go in the 3rd quarter here from Memorial Stadium. West Albany now leading Ashland 28-7. Another electrifying touchdown run by Jake Lacoste, continuing to pile up the numbers. 38 rushing touchdowns now on the season for Jake. 4 of them tonight. 75 yards on the latest jaunt. Got off left tackle, and nobody laid a finger on him.
That's just really something. You could just see that open up from up here, and not the best vantage point because that was on the left side there, but even from the vantage point we had, you could see that opening up. He hit the line hard. He hit that at full speed, and he was gone.
First and 10. I'm looking at the scoreboard. Here's the kickoff from Matt Wiest as it's lined down to Chandler. He takes it to the 9, up the middle at the 15 to the 20, at the 25 at the 30, and across the 35-yard line near the 37. Took a big pop at the end. And fortunate to see him get up quickly. As he was leaning backwards, Valenzuela came into the back of his helmet unintentionally, and Chandler off a little bit slowly. Good return on the play. 28 yards out to the 37. 1st and 10 Ashland from there. 4:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs now leading 28-7. We were tied at 7 at the end of the 1st quarter. The Bulldogs have scored the last 3 touchdowns. Daniel White continues on at quarterback. Gives to Bowles. Bowles is stood up and ridden down in the backfield. Great pursuit again from the Bulldog defensive line. Soot, Garcia, Gardner, a loss of a yard.
The Bulldogs not biting on any fakes right now. That time they just try and soften the middle. The Bulldogs were having none of it. The play that's been giving the Bulldogs fits has been with the fake on the fly sweep, and then the quarterback taking it himself. That time just trying to soften the middle, and Bulldogs squared it up.
It's called a loss of 2. 2nd down and 12. White will throw a little screen off to the right. Sashi Penn will make the catch and get back to the line of scrimmage. Short gain, maybe 2. Shashamani Penn, a 5'11 freshman, with the catch. I saw the name on the roster. That's Shashamani, but then in a recap, it was listed as Sashi in an Ashland paper. So I'll call him Sashi. That's easier and quicker. He picked up 2 on the screen, 3rd and 10 at the 37. He's just a freshman, but they think very highly of him. So he'll come out slot left on 3rd and 10 for Ashland from their own 37-yard line. Max Montgomery also out to the left along with Carter Glick. One receiver to the right is Walters. Has White in the back on the option. And no option. Blasted immediately as Vols. Tanner Gardner.
Wow. That's just team defensive speed right there. Tanner Gardner sniffed that out beautifully. Initial contact. Huge tackle for loss. 4th and long. Ashland with the punt.
Lost 4 on the play. Connor Kagi now back in punt formation. Stands at his own 20. Valenzuela back at his own 40. As the punt by Kagi. Low spiral returnable. Valenzuela from his own 37, and he's hit. Good coverage by Walters to take him down. Nothing on the return. Valenzuela backpedaling as he caught it, and Walters drove him to the turf. At the 35-yard line, West Albany will take over 1st and 10 with 2:24 to go in the third quarter.
Ryan Radke coming out onto the field offensively for the Bulldogs, 6 foot, 180-pound junior into the game. Don't know that we've called his name yet in this game. Spelling some offensive line there.
You know, it's interesting to sometimes would lament the fact that the players are changing jersey numbers. You have to figure that 78 is Soot and that 66 is Gardner. And the reason that they changed numbers was for some depth on the offensive line. With no Steely Smith in uniform, that they might need some help on the O-line, and so they have to wear offensive lineman eligible numbers. 1st and 10 from the 35. Give to Jake Lacoste up the middle. Not much there this time. Jake will get 2, maybe 3. But that's fine. At this point now, 3-touchdown lead. Hang on to the ball. Keep the clock running.
I want to see the Bulldogs go down and score because I want to see another extra point, see if Benedict gets out of his rig to try and catch the extra point.
They don't let you keep the ball. I'm pretty sure you have to return it.
I don't think I'd argue with Mitch. If he wanted to take the ball, he could probably have it.
He's higher up than me in the company. I'm not going to try and take it from him. 28-7 Bulldogs. A give to Jake on 2nd down and 8. And Jake up the middle with a first down across midfield, leading to the Ashland 48-yard line. 15 more for Jake Lacoste, who is starting to gouge the Grizzlies here in the second half.
Isn't the custodian higher than you are in the food chain?
No comment. 301. Thank you, Jeff. 301 yards for Jake Lacoste on the night. That's pretty good.
That is pretty
We're not even at the end of the third quarter, and in the round of 16, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns for Jake. Minute 20 and running in the third quarter. 1st and 10, just inside the Ashland 49-yard line. Lahota triggers Soto in motion, tied to the formation, on a play fake, back to throw. He's got Breslin wide open, and Brendan makes the catch for a touchdown. Beautiful play fake, 48 yards. Lahota to Breslin, and the Bulldogs pulling away. They lead it 34-7.
And that right there, folks, is stepping on the air hose. He was wide open. No one within 10, 12 yards of him. And he had to wait on that ball a little bit, or he would have extended that. Oh, what a beautiful play fake that was. Lahota with a beautiful fake. Breslin gets himself wide open. Nobody accounted for him. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
There was a play in the Beaver-Arizona State game last Saturday when Brandon Cooks broke off the line of scrimmage untouched, and everybody in the crowd immediately, oh, because they knew the ball was going that way. Same thing here. Breslin, nobody laid a finger on him. Wide open in the secondary for the touchdown. Weistats the point after, and with 1:03 to go in the third quarter, it's now West Albany 35 and Ashland 7. We'll take a break and return to 920 KSHO.
Hi, I'm Jeff, one of the brake experts here at Les Schwab. When your brakes need work, all you hear is this. But what we hear is this.
Yeehaw! Boy, you pushing me to the limit. Better fix me up today or there'll be no stopping tomorrow. Hey, let's go play chicken with that brick wall. Woohoo!
If you couldn't tell, that was a 4x4.
For 30 years, we've been the brake experts at Les Schwab, and it shows. Stop in for your free brake check today. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. Our focus is local. Local people, local families, and local businesses. We promise we'll always be that bank. Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
35-7, West Albany with 1:03 to go in the third quarter, and Matt Wiest set to kick it away again. The Bulldogs have put some distance between themselves and the Grizzlies. It's the kick angled to the sideline. Chandler bobbles it in at the 7. Tries to turn to the middle, looking to get to the far side. Chandler being strung out, and Ben Engel will take him down just across the 20 at about the 21-yard line. A lot of running for Chandler, not much of a return. And the Grizzlies will be backed up a little bit at their own 22, first down and 10.
Special teams tonight for the Bulldogs has been really solid, especially in kick coverage. When you kick as many times as Bulldogs do in a football game, you get a lot of practice and really a lot of great kick coverage tonight by the Bulldogs.
First and 10, Ashland from their own 22, down 28 now with 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. Penn goes in motion. Kagi back in at quarterback, fakes, now tucks and runs and picks up a couple to the 23 near the 24. Well, Jeff used the word methodical at halftime to describe the Bulldog offense, and that summed it up perfectly. They had sort of picked their way down the field, small plays. We've seen the explosive Bulldogs here in the third quarter. 75-yard touchdown run by Lacoste, 48-yard touchdown pass from Lahota to Breslin. And the Bulldogs, just like that, up 28. As Kagi back to throw on 2nd and 8. Steps up, looking deep. Wants to heave downfield. Has a man out there. It's Penn, and Penn makes the catch down to the 36-yard line of West Albany. Sashi Penn able to get behind the Bulldog defense. And there's the first big long pass of the night for Ashland.
Boy, that's good concentration by Penn right there on that catch. He had a defender there, looked like might be able to shield the play, but goes up and makes the grab. And Bulldog territory here with the ball at the 36-yard line.
Kagi wants a quick snap. With 12 seconds to play in the third. Gets a snap, rolls, sets up a little screen to Voles. Well diagnosed and destroyed in the backfield by Carson French. It'll be a loss of a yard. You could see immediately Brian Garcia, who was bringing pressure, turn and chase the man out of the backfield, and French was there to clean it up.
Boy.
Nothing doing. It'll be 2nd and 10 when the fourth quarter starts. It's West Albany 35, Ashland 7. We'll come back for the fourth at KSHO.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Start of the fourth quarter, West Albany 35 and Ashland 7. For over 55 years, Les Schwab Tires has been committed to providing their customers the most for their tire dollar. Price, value, and selection. Les Schwab Tires doing the right thing since 1952.
Ryan, a little credit for the other treats that we got.
Thank you.
Treats too, and that was Patricia Ike and Mark Avery, parents of David Avery. And Patricia, she outdid herself this time. 3 separate plates for 3 broadcasters of brownies.
Yep, 1 for Jeff, 2 for me. That's an easy breakdown.
I beg to differ.
Kagi lost the football as he's back to throw. He'll fall on it himself. Sacked to start the fourth quarter. Heavy pressure from the Bulldogs. I think it was Gardner that stripped
Gardner.
It.
Yep.
But Kagi able to fall on it back at the 45. It is a big loss, bringing up 3rd down and 19. Ashland now back at the Bulldog 45.
That's a huge play, and the Bulldogs are just pinning their ears back now and just coming right after them. And the coverage has been so good downfield that KSHO really has had nobody to throw to, and the Bulldogs are teeing off on him now.
Clock running. KSHO taking a ton of time. You know, in the no huddle, they get to the line of scrimmage so quickly that they really have an eternity. Now they have 5 seconds or less. Back judge has his hand up. They get the play off. KSHO back to throw. Pumping, wants to go deep. Fires into the flat. It's caught. Diving grab by Glick at the 35. Still short of the first down by about 9 yards, but a manageable 4th down now for Ashland.
Nice sportsmanship there. Gardner put KSHO on his backside there, but Gardner helps him up. Couple of pats on the backside, and they're back and off and running.
4th down and 9. 10:45 left. West Albany leading 35-7. KSHO back to throw. Pressure comes. Steps up. Eludes pressure. Throwing deep. Has a man. It's Atterbury. And Atterbury makes the catch as he's blasted inside the 5. Good concentration and willpower to hang on to the ball by Atterbury. It was Jake Lacoste that drilled him in the back. It'll be 1st and goal.
Boy, and that's really something. He was able to hang on to that ball, and he did not get up very quickly here. Ashland, nice pass play. He was wide open. The Bulldogs had given him enough of a cushion there. He had the opening there, but, man, how did he hang on to that ball? Jake lowered the boom on him.
Jake Lacoste, who has seen extensive time at corner over the last few weeks, and he put a real pop on Atterbury, who now comes out on 1st and goal from the 1. Daniel White back in at quarterback.
Kind of holding that left arm down to his side there like maybe he's got an issue there.
White wants to keep. Falling forward, he's short of the goal line. His helmet and his shoulder pads crossed the goal line. The ball did not. The ball was back down around his waist. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1. White, who has the lone Ashland touchdown of the night, looking for his 2nd. Chandler is the H-back, split off to his left. John Voles, the running back, in a slot to the right. White for now alone in the backfield. Voles comes in motion. White will give it to Voles. Voles hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Back behind the 5 near the 7. Gardner again into the backfield.
Gardner's having himself a game. I just wish we'd known who he was in the first half. Probably could have. But he is really making his presence felt here in this second half.
Yeah, it's listed on the roster. 66 is listed as Jace Burton, a 5'9", 215 sophomore, but we are fairly certain that that's Tanner Gardner, all-league defensive lineman. 3rd down, goal now back near the 5. White back to throw, under pressure. French has him. He's going to go down back at the 20. Carson French with the pressure, a loss of 15. And the Grizzlies, who had 1st and goal at the 1, will now have it at the 18-yard line.
Ryan,
4th and goal.
Sorry, Ryan. I think what's happening here is the Bulldogs on that fake on the fly sweep. I think the Bulldogs have said, okay, they've only handed it to that guy maybe once tonight.
Yeah.
Why are we biting on that fake? They're not going to give it up to that guy. Let's just go after the quarterback on these. And it's proven time and time again. Tackles for loss. Tackles for loss.
Connor KSHO comes back in now on 4th and goal from the 18. They've got to get to the end zone here, and the Bulldogs could go into basically a modified prevent if they want. Just drop the secondary to the goal line. 8:40 to go in the game. 35-7 West Albany. 4th down and goal from the 18. KSHO, big pump fake. Ball slipped out of his hand, and it's going to be incomplete. Came down well short of Quade Walters. I think that slipped right out of his hand. It didn't look good from the start. The Bulldogs hold after a 1st and goal from the 1. They'll take over at their own 18, 1st and 10.
That's a great defensive stand right there. The Bulldogs will take over here with a long field to go. Might see a few different players out on the field here as they start to look toward next week and keeping players healthy. And right now we see the regular crew, but it wouldn't surprise me here after this series start seeing some fresh faces come out.
Regular crew with one notable exception. Jake Lacoste is on the sideline. Anthony Thompson is in the backfield. Jake looks fine and probably just trying to curtail his carries now late in the game. Is on 1st down. The ball popped free. I think Hiram Crook on the carry. Crook able to fall back on it at the 21. If there was any misunderstanding as to whether or not that was a fumble, solved pretty quickly by the guys upstairs.
Yes, the crew upstairs. They spotted it before I did.
Everybody upstairs. Fumble! But recovered by Crook. Winds up a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 as we near the 8-minute mark, and West Albany looking very good to head into the quarterfinals next weekend. Setting up a rematch that I think we'd be sweating thinking about all week. Silverton. As Lahota on play action, back to throw. Throws in the flat, has Soto wide open. Soto makes the catch and has a first down as he gets out near the 30-yard line. Good play action again. It worked for the touchdown to Breslin. It works here for a first down to Soto.
And Ryan, on the previous play, I was just thinking as I saw Soto go in motion that we hadn't talked about him much tonight. And he's such a valuable part of this offense. He's used mainly as a blocker. Has several receptions on the season, very soft hands, and has proved it on that play. But he is so important to the blocking scheme of what West Albany does and opening up some holes, and that time gets rewarded with the pass to him.
And on first down, Anthony Thompson gets rewarded with a carry, and Thompson picks up about 9 out near the 39-yard line. So Anthony Thompson getting some carries now with Jake Lacoste maybe going to rest for the rest of the night.
I think that's a really wise move, and certainly he looks healthy. It's not an injury thing. It's just a rest thing now. Over 300 yards on the game for Jake Lacoste. He's earned the break.
Yeah, playing both sides of the ball. He was in on defense up until that fourth down stop. So it'll be 2nd down and 1 for West Albany from their own 39. Another give to Thompson. Thompson has the first down across the 40, out to about the 43. And that means the Bulldogs can burn a couple more minutes here at least. 6:51 to go in the game. West in complete control, 35-7 Bulldogs. And a dominating second half from West. They started to pull away in the second quarter, led 21-7 at halftime, but started to open it up in the third, and the 2 long touchdowns really seemed to deflate Ashland. 1st and 10 West from their own 43. Give to Thompson. Thompson another little crease. See blasts for 5 out close to the 49.
Seems very protective of the ball. He's conscious. He's a senior. He's conscious of that ball security too. Has a lot of experience on the football field. Ryan, we talk about when West Albany is scouted by other teams, and we know that there are teams here that are future opponents of the Bulldogs that are scouting this. Most notably, probably Silverton and maybe even somebody beyond, like a Sherwood. But West Albany, they pulled a couple of things out tonight that are going to make teams really wonder. Okay, the Bulldogs aren't one-dimensional. They aren't just Jake. I'll let you call that play. I'll come back to this.
It's a brief play, a 2nd and 5 carry that goes for 2 to midfield to be 3rd and 3. Continue.
Yeah, most notably the pass to Breslin there where he was so wide open and everybody had gotten so focused on the Bulldog running game. But those kinds of plays make scouts say, uh-oh, this isn't a one-trick pony. Bulldogs have some other weapons here. That pass to Soto right there. There's all sorts of creative things that West can do to decoy here as teams are scouting.
Same play that we saw a moment ago on the play action to Soto, and Soto makes another catch that will have a first down, I believe. Checking the spot just in front of the sticks. Now the official on the near side says 4th down. The official on the far side was about 1.5 yards beyond the first down marker. He's credible sometimes how far apart they can be. They'll say 4th and short.
Which West will go, but they're talking to the white hat now and saying, hey, come over here and take a look at this. Nike was trying to help him out.
I think Randy's pointing across and saying, hey, your guy on the far side had it a first down by 2 yards. But the guy riding the ball is the important one.
This will eyeball it. Give Randy a chance to, Coach Nyquist, a chance to talk with his quarterback, Lahota, and talk about the next couple of plays.
Well, they will bring the chains all the way from the far side of the field. So I'll say, for new and used, foreign and domestic auto parts, choose B&R Auto Wrecking. Just log on to AutoWrecking.com, and remember, if you own a truck or car, think B&R. They will extend the chains, and it is a first down. First down, West Albany. And Coach Nyquist, I don't know if he called for the chains or if he just persuaded the officials to bring out the chains, but it winds up a first down with 5:17 to go in the game. West Albany leading 35-7.
When you see Coach Nyquist shaking his head like he was, I think he didn't like the spot.
Yeah.
And certainly didn't think that there should have been a measurement at all to begin with.
I think at this point now, as the clock will wind, a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs at the Ashland 47. You can start maybe to write over that West Albany that you had in pencil on the bracket, maybe put it in Sharpie. Up 28, 5:05 left, and in possession with a 1st and 10. Lahota gives it to Thompson. Thompson lowers the shoulder, trying to keep the legs driving. They'll blow it dead as he reaches the 43. Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6, but at this point of the game, the yardage becomes secondary to just possession of the ball. And Thompson keeps the clock moving.
West with the ball on the Ashland side of the field now. The clock will continue to run, 4:38 and counting. A little slow getting the play out here. They'll chew up as much clock as they can, though. No desire to run up the score here, but the Bulldogs do want to keep possession and do want to keep moving the sticks.
2nd down and 7. Just inside the Ashland 44. High formation with Thompson, the deep back. Lahota back to throw. Under pressure. Heaves it deep, and it is going to be incomplete. Almost caught on the deflection. Should have been picked, perhaps, by Max Montgomery. But then Breslin nearly caught it off the tip. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that one just kind of thrown up for grabs there, Ryan. And certainly in a closer game, you'd be holding your breath a little bit more. But that's one where Ashland, the Grizzlies, ended up getting a little bit of pressure on Lahota, and he had to get rid of it. Unfortunately, he didn't throw it into the 3rd row. He threw it into the middle of a lot of coverage.
Fortunate to get that one back. 3rd down and 7, and it does stop the clock with 4:13 to play. Lahota brings it up to the line. Soto goes in motion left to right. On the left hash mark, 3rd and 7. They'll toss it to Thompson, running right, trying to turn upfield, and will actually lose a yard. Back to the 45. It'll be 4th down and 8. Clock continuing to move. Ashland not inclined to stop it here, even on a 4th and long. So rarely, Wally, do we mention the offensive lineman as there is a player shaken up. It's Chandler remaining on a knee here. But the Bulldog offensive line, so tremendous all year long, and again tonight, one by one. Cole Zumwalt left tackle, Alex Boyd left guard, Buck Trulove at center, Ryan Radke right now at right guard, and Colton Brandt at right tackle. Those 5, what a job they have done. You add Steely Smith for what he did throughout the year, not in uniform tonight. Jake Lacoste gets all the accolades, but that offensive line paves the way.
Yeah, toss in Jackson Soto and the work he does, and Hiram Crook and Soot when he's there at fullback. But you're absolutely right. That front 5, they get the job done. They're big, they're strong, and they're quick. They've got quick feet, and especially with Steely Smith in there, he's got that great lateral speed. But really, I think you're absolutely right. We try and mention them as much as we possibly can. Offensive linemen are unsung heroes, and they know it. They don't expect to hear their name on the radio very often, but they do. They get the job done.
Not the massive group that we've seen in years past. No Virgil Powell, no Aaron Magnuson, no Parker Rund on that line, but equally effective. Lahota back to throw, buying time, firing deep for Valenzuela, and JT makes the catch. What a catch as Valenzuela went to his backside just inside the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st down West at the 19. A beautiful grab from Valenzuela.
Valenzuela with great concentration there. There was good coverage there, and the defender was very disappointed that catch was made. You could see the frustration in the body language there. Valenzuela, not a big kid, but he goes up there. He showed the concentration there, leaves his feet, and brings that down. A lot of contact with the field, but able to secure the ball, and the Bulldogs back in business here, looking to score again.
1st and 10 from the 19. The give goes to Thompson, hitting the hole hard. He'll pick up 5 to the 14-yard line. So we come down near 3 minutes on a clock-draining drive from West Albany. Bulldogs are going to advance into the quarterfinals. They'll play next Friday night, presumably at Silverton, unless Putnam had a big rally in them. We'll get the rematch. I know West Albany wants it. Based on our hostile seating location there at Silverton, I'm not sure we want it, but we're going to get it. Cody Lahota on 2nd down and 4 gives to Thompson, and Thompson twists his way near the 9, close to a 1st down. They'll blow it dead, at least eyeball it, and say 1st down. West 1st and goal, just inside the 9, 2:29 left.
And Ryan, I missed it when he came out onto the field, but number 75 for the Bulldogs, John Bowes, 5'10", 270-pound sophomore, into the game on the offensive line for the Bulldogs.
Replaced Alex Boyd at left guard. Cody Lahota brings it back to the line of scrimmage, managing the time now. 2:12 to play in the game. 35-7 Bulldogs. Give is to Hiram Crook, and the fullback Crook rumbling his way close to the 5 before he is driven backwards. Gain of a couple, maybe 3 for Crook. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Kind of thinking maybe go stand down by those propane heaters myself.
Not a bad idea.
Get Birchfield down there. He's got to stay warm. He's got to stay healthy. He's got a state championship match, game, swim, match. All right. Thank you.
He's not going to be doing much swimming, hopefully. If he's swimming, the team's in trouble. He'll be in goal.
That's right.
Second down and goal at the 5. Give to Thompson, and Thompson's met in the backfield. And driven backwards. He'll lose a couple. Max Montgomery the first to hit him. It'll be third down and goal. Minute 22 to go in the game. A couple more snaps for West, and this one will be in the books. An impressive win here in the round of 16 for West Albany. Ashland came in having won 5 games in a row and having scored a ton of points, at least 47 points in 4 of those 5 wins. The Bulldogs have held them to 7 here tonight. It'll be under a minute before West Albany takes another snap. Lahota got the play, brings it in. Going to have to hurry to get the snap off. From the left hash mark, Lahota will go to work. Soto in motion. Lahota takes a snap, gives to Thompson. Off the left side, Thompson driving back inside the 5, close to the 2. Short of the goal line by a couple. It'll be 4th and goal with 38 seconds and counting in the game. And one way or another, the final offensive snap of the night for West. Hey, good luck, John. John Birchfield will head out into the evening and prepare for state championship water polo match tomorrow. 3 state championships to be determined tomorrow for West Albany. Volleyball and boys and girls water polo. Best of luck to all of them. 4th and goal from the 2. 14 seconds and rolling here as Lahota will turn, give it to Thompson. Thompson driving. Thompson is in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Anthony Thompson, a much-deserved touchdown. And the Bulldogs just pile on. 41-7 with 7 seconds to go.
Boy, and you know, that's not a matter of the Bulldogs trying to run things up. They're not trying to show anybody up, but that's rewarding Anthony Thompson for a job well done. Most of his minutes come on the defensive side, and he's a workhorse, and you love to see the senior be able to get into the end zone like that. Congratulations to Anthony Thompson, and the Bulldogs are moving on to the state quarterfinals.
Emphatically, as Matt Wiest will come on for the point after try. Wiest, ready. Snap good. Hold good. Kick good. 7.6 to go. West Albany 42. Ashland 7. We'll take a break and return to finish it up at 9:20 KSHO.
Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors. Fifth and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Figaro's in Albany now has the Ultimate Super Combo and the Ultimate Super Meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust, 541-924-9303.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The cutting room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The cutting room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
920 KSHO.
A kickoff and maybe one offensive snap from Ashland, unless it's a long kickoff, and this game will be done. 7.6 seconds to go. West Albany leading 42-7. Anthony Thompson, the senior, primarily cornerback, but slash running back. Kid who had a 100-yard game last year, believe in the playoffs. It's Anthony Thompson, and he marches his way down the field as the primary running back on the last possession of the game for West. Gets into the end zone, a 2-yard touchdown run. The last points of the night, presumably, as Wiest set to kick it away here. And the Bulldogs will wrap this and head to the quarterfinals next Friday. Wiest with a low line drive kick that will be taken at the 10-yard line by Penn. Penn trying to come near side at the 25. Dodging back to the sideline, looking for somebody to throw back to. Ben Engel in hot pursuit as Penn rolling all the way back to the 14. He wants to throw. Penn still on his feet at the 20, and he'll be wrapped and dropped at the 30 or the 26-yard line. Taylor Rogers brought him down. Penn, an exciting play to end a little something for Ashland as they will exit. West Albany wins. They'll head to the quarterfinals. Final score here tonight. West Albany 42, Ashland 7. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this one up. It's the OSAA, U.S. Bank, Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championships on KSHO.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations of the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Unforgettable 920.
It has gone final here at West Albany High School. The Bulldogs advance to the quarterfinals, taking care of Ashland tonight, 42-7. Final score, tremendous effort on both sides of the ball tonight from the Bulldogs. You can catch all of the action from the OSAA State Championships for free at OSAA.tv. OSAA.tv is the home to live and on-demand video coverage of the OSAA State Championships. You watch this year's events and relive your favorite moments from the past at OSAA.tv, all for free. You can even purchase DVD copies. Check out OSAA.tv today. Wally, this is an emphatic win for West Albany. I said before the game, I said at halftime, just looking at the stats, looking at the kind of offense that Ashland played, looking at some of their scores from the last half of the season, on paper this game worried me a little bit. And West Albany took care of business in a big way. I did not expect 42-7 tonight.
Yeah, I really didn't either, and I don't think anybody that realistically looked at this game could have expected this kind of outcome. But the Bulldogs, they on both sides of the ball and special teams, just outplayed Ashland all the way through. But how about the job of that defense? Brian Mell's defense.
Yes.
He had a plan designed, and they made a couple of adjustments. They started getting some pressure on the quarterback. The downfield coverage was so good. Brian Mell could be very pleased with what he saw from his defense tonight. A little short-handed, but really came through in different combinations of players on the D-line, and a little bit more Jake Lacoste on the defensive side tonight, and with some speed, and he lowered the boom on a couple of occasions defensively too. So certainly congratulations to Brian Mell and this entire coaching staff for a big victory tonight. They move on to the Final 8. Bulldogs are in the quarterfinals.
It's something to be said. Once again, a great coaching job from Coach Nyquist and the Bulldog players, all deserving a lot of credit. They're 9-1 now on the season, and they will have the chance to avenge their only loss, which came at the hands of Silverton. It was 28-21. That was early in the season, very early in the season. And that night the Bulldogs had a number of turnovers. There were some penalties that didn't go their way. There was that big swing at the end of the first half when the Bulldogs tried to go big. They wound up throwing an interception. Silverton turned it into a touchdown. All that. And the Bulldogs still only lost by 7. You know they've wanted the rematch ever since. They're going to get that rematch. Sometimes in sports they say be careful what you wish for. Silverton is a very, very good team. But the Bulldogs were close that night, and the way they play tonight, you got to like their chances.
I do like their chances, and I think West Albany is clicking right now. With that week off, it gave them a chance to work on some things, got them healthier, and it really didn't seem to miss a beat. They didn't seem sluggish. You always worry about after that bye week or that week off that you have. Of maybe coming out sluggish, and I didn't see that from the Bulldogs tonight. I thought that they were good to go from the start. Their opening drive, very brief and very productive. The Bulldogs getting off to the 7-0 start and really took off from there. One productive drive, aided by some penalties for Ashland. Other than that, Bulldogs really shored things up and were very impressive in this game. Going into next week now, Silverton, hostile environment. We thought the regular season game was big and hostile. We thought the whole town was probably there. It's going to be even more next week as Silverton will get their second straight home playoff game. And, I talked to your dad today. Your dad's does a great job setting things up for us when we go on the road, and I did make a request of him tonight, and that was to ask them for a little bit of a barrier between some police tape or something that creates a little bit of a barrier there for where we set up in the stands. So hopefully they'll make some accommodations for us, and we don't have people sitting on our laps while we're trying to broadcast the game. But it'll be festive, we'll say. We won't say hostile. We'll say it'll be festive. But I think the Bulldogs are going to show up at Silverton ready to go, with a chance to go to the state semifinals and possibly a date with Sherwood.
It's interesting that matchup happens. When we left Silverton that night, I think we said to one another, let's hope for a rematch. Let's hope we see him again. And that's the case. It will be Silverton in the quarterfinals next Friday night. When you watch these broadcasts, you watch games, and you see, Jerry Allen is up in the booth high above the action. They're in that nice little booth, like we are here at West. We're indoors. We're separated from the fans. There's a little bit of a barrier. I'm not sure that you can fully understand, unless you've been to Silverton or been at one of these road crowds and seen where we have to broadcast. We are literally right in the middle of their crowd. Now, there was a table set up for us there, and there was a little bit of tape, but that tape was batted down, and the person who wound up sitting directly next to me, I'm pretty sure was Chris Garcia's brother. And Chris Garcia is the star running back and the linebacker for Silverton. Had a great night that night, and I think, this is just a theory, but I think he was planted there. I think that they brought him close to the broadcast so that he could be heard over the microphone, and he was right next to us and very vocal throughout the night. So last weekend, when the brackets were posted, I said to my dad, it's setting up for a matchup with Silverton. I don't want to sit there again. I don't want to sit next to that guy again, because I really think they brought him there on purpose. If they do it again, hey, we'll deal with it, but maybe we'll try to get indoors.
No, I got an idea. We bring Benedict and his buddies and provide a little security.
Or maybe I'll just sit on the inside. You can sit on the outside next to him.
Deal.
I don't think he'd mess with you. Puny little me. He might take a shot at me, but
not the case. Not the case. You're a force to be reckoned with.
Bulldogs get the win here tonight, 42-7. They take care of Ashland. Another tremendous night from Jake Lacoste, over 300 yards. Had the 4 touchdowns, and then in the second half, when West Albany opened it up, after that long touchdown from Jake Lacoste, they were able to use play action. Lahota went deep to Breslin. That was the backbreaker. That was the one I think that really broke the spirit of the Grizzlies, made it 35-7 late in the third quarter. Anthony Thompson adds a touchdown late, purely cosmetic, as West Albany wins 42-7. We need at least one more break, I'm sure. Let's take it here and try and stretch it out. We'll come back to Jeff Kiter with stats in just a moment as the Bulldogs have won off to the quarterfinals on KSHO.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness at Hickory Station in North Albany, where you can receive a free Snap t-shirt and ball cap just for mentioning this ad while you are enrolling. Enjoy your workouts at Snap Fitness Albany.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lane's in Lebanon.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Looking to save money on lighting fixtures? Larry and Marge Tomlin, owners of J&J Electric, invite you to compare prices, but don't buy until you've seen the high quality and low prices at J&J. Visit their spectacular showroom. The hometown folks at J&J Electric appreciate your business. J&J Electric, South Pacific and 22nd in Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, all the fans have piled out. It starts to get cold. We start to realize as the bodies leave that it is very, very chilly here tonight. We are the few who remain, the players and their families milling around down in the field in the afterglow of a Bulldog win, 42-7 over Ashland. Jeff Kiter back with us. No shave November, Jeff Kiter, looking good with a little bit of the shaggy. That's a playoff beard.
Well, hopefully it'll keep my at least my face a little warm after a night like this. It was chilly. So, and if I could just mention, the Ashland radio guys were kind enough to hand me over a stat sheet, so I'm going to kind of combine what they provided to me along with what I've tabulated. So we'll start with first downs. West Albany had 19 first downs. Ashland had 10. Rushing, West Albany had 50 carries for 335 yards. Ashland, 24 carries for minus 4 yards. Wow. And that includes sacks of the quarterback, too. Total offensive plays, West Albany 59 for 432 yards. Ashland 41 for 114 yards. Time of possession, and you would expect that West Albany have an advantage because they mainly held the ball on the ground. Held the ball for almost 28 minutes compared to Ashland 19 minutes. Now some specific numbers for Jake. I had him finish the night with 35 carries for 301 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cody LaHood had 2 carries for 3 yards. Anthony Thomas 11 for 39. Hiram Crook 3 for 7. And also Anthony Thompson had a 2-yard touchdown. And again, Hiram Crook had 3 carries for 7 yards. Cody LaHoda finished 6 of 9 for 100 yards even, including the 49-yard touchdown pass to Brendan Breslin. The Bulldogs took better care of the football both teams took good care of the football because there weren't any turnovers.
Incredible.
Penalty-wise, West Albany only had 1 penalty in the second half for 10 yards. So I think that's an area that may have been a little concern for the coaches in the first half, but great job in the second half in the penalties. Ashland only had 1 penalty for 5 yards. The Bulldogs had 20 first downs. Ashland had 10. And let's see, we'll go over to some defensive numbers. Leading the way, J.T. Valenzuela had 9 tackles, Tanner Gardner 5. Tanner Gardner also had a sack. Carson French had 6 tackles and a sack. Matt Soot, 3 tackles and a sack, and Cole Zumwalt had 1 tackle and a sack. Alex Boyd had 3 tackles, and Joey Roos had 3 tackles, and Ben Engel had 2 tackles. Great effort tonight by the Bulldogs. I would imagine at this point they are getting ready for the game next week for Silverton. It's not too early to think about that.
No, we're definitely getting ready for it.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter bringing along our final game stats, and I feel that cold that has had me throughout the week is starting to take its effect on my voice. So we better start to wrap this up. West Albany wins tonight 42-7. Impressive win, and while we often do theoretical game balls at the end of the night, this one I would say, looking over those final game numbers, just give it to Brian Mel. 41 offensive plays for Ashland, 114 total yards, fewer than 3 yards per play. And this was a prolific offense, a team that had put up some big numbers throughout the course of the season, and West shut them down.
Yeah, you know, when you've got a team that typically is over 350 a game, as Ashland is, both in the air and on the ground, total offense, and you hold them to that few yards on the game, you've done your job. And certainly he could be very proud of this defense and what they've done. I completely agree. Game ball to Brian Mel.
That's going to do it for us. It's 9:20. We've made pretty good time here tonight. Hey, how about that? 9:20 on 9:20. That'll work. 42-7. West Albany beats Ashland here tonight. They're off to the quarterfinals. Silverton is the foe. The long-awaited rematch. Everybody wanted it at the end of that night up in Silverton, and the Bulldogs now have it. You can debate for the next 7 days about who a rematch favors, but the Bulldogs shot themselves in the foot and still only lost by 7. Can Silverton be beaten? We'll find out in a week. It'll be unbeaten 10-0 Silverton, once beaten 9-1 West Albany. Next Friday night, we will be there from Silverton High School, 7 p.m. kickoff, and a pregame show around 6:45. Thanks so much for listening tonight. Thank you, Wally.
Thank you, Ryan. And happy birthday to you this coming week, and have a safe trip up to watch your beloved Jets. And hope it's a great weekend for you all the way around.
We'll probably see plenty of Tebow on Sunday. That's about all you need to know about the Jets offense this year. I'm not real hopeful for what's going to happen. I just hope I can wear a Jets sweatshirt and get out in one piece. That's my only goal for Sunday up in Seattle. Hey, and a happy Veterans Day. Thanks to all who have served our country. A reminder again, the biggest Veterans Day parade west of the Mississippi tomorrow here in Albany. My dad will be in the KSHO van. And should be a big crowd, and come on out. Support our veterans tomorrow. That parade starts at 11 a.m. at the overpass on Pacific, ends at the Lynn County Courthouse. We will see you next Friday night for football as the season rolls on. The Bulldogs win tonight 42-7. I thank you so much for listening. This has been the OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championships on KSHO. For Wally Ordeman and for Jeff Kiter, I'm Ryan Pitts. Final score one more time, West Albany 42 and Ashland 7. See you in a week.
The Oregon School Activities Association thanks you for listening to this OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires State Championship event. Les Schwab Tires celebrating more than 55 years of pride in performance. U.S. Bank proud to celebrate its 27th year of supporting OSAA state championships. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of an OSAA state championship event.
Thanks for listening to Bulldogs Football on the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Today's game featuring the West Albany Bulldogs was brought to you locally by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, J&J Electric, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Lynn Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. This broadcast is exclusive property of Eats Broadcasting, the unforgettable 920 KSHO, Fitzwaller Productions, and the Oregon School Activities Association in cooperation with the Oregon Association of Broadcasters. U.S. copyright law protects this broadcast. Duplication or rebroadcast of any portion of this program is strictly prohibited without prior written consent. We now join our regular programming.